Hey, bless up, bless up, bless up, fam. How y'all doing? Woo! How y'all feeling? Hope you feeling well. Hope everything's going well. What's going on, Brother Lawrence? Good to see you, Brother Lawrence. What's going on, Brother Lawrence? Good afternoon, should I say? If you're East Coast, if you're Central Time, still good morning. Hope y'all doing well this morning. Hope everything's going well. And y'all can see I'm running. I'm on the move, and I'm trying to get stationary, but I'm probably about 3-4 minutes away. And until we do this, we're gonna have to do this live on the ride. I hope y'all doing good. Y'all putting in the work. We all putting in the work, baby. Hope everything's going good for you. And when you come in, go ahead and put some keys in the chat. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Thursday. Uh, weather is kind of warm, you know. We had a few cool days where we were like doing pretty good with cool mornings, but now the weather's trying to get a little bit warmer. So hope y'all doing well on everything. Hope everything's going well. And another thing is, as you all have maybe have heard, we did lose one of our pups, and we're still trying to mend and put everything together. We got to figure out what we're going to do with little Sean too at the same time. Well, the little two Sean, I know what Diddy wants to do, but want to figure some things out. What's going on, Captain B? Grand Rise, Grand Rise. All in the soul. Bless up, bless up, bless up. If y'all can hear me and see me, I know it's maybe a little bit loud, but I'm almost at my destination. But if you can, put the thumbs up if you can see me and hear me. Good. And we are in the middle of, I really don't understand why deers run from one side of the road, and then when you get closer to them, they run back to the other side of the road. If y'all know why deers do that, please leave a note in the chat. Well, what can I do to stop these deers from turning around in the middle? And why is the deer open out here in the middle of the day? I don't know. We got a lot of activities right now. A lot of animals are getting ready to transition from the summertime to fall time. This is harvest time for a lot of animals. They're getting it in. And a friend of mine at a store told me that we're going to have some cold winter down here in the south because he says the animals are eating. I guess that's what's going on too. We got deers out here in the middle of the day. They trying to pack on those towns. And he said typically when you see animals constantly eating like that, no frolicking, no playing around, none of that kind of stuff. They just constantly eating. We're going to have some cold weather ahead. Cold weather. Okay, Kathy B, you can hear me and see me good, good, good. What's up, Kathy B? Kathy B got some T's in the chat too as well. You thankful? Y'all put some T's in the chat if you thankful. All right, let me check and see if my guest is here. We're gonna start jump on in here. Let's see. Guest is in the background. Let me know if you're in here, Jay. If you're in the chat, let me know you're in here. That way I can go ahead and bring you on up. I'm on my phone trying to get to my laptop. Time got away from me. I do apologize. But right now the discussion, this is part two of the discussion where a lot of times in life we try to look for places that we can be successful in. This, not just Africa, leaving America going to Africa, but this can be anywhere in the world. If you're thinking about transition, thinking about maybe selling it all, cashing it all in, taking all your assets, taking your retirement, taking everything and just leaving, whether you're leaving in the country, whether you're staying here in the United States of America, or whether you're thinking about going outside the country. If you've been thinking about doing that, put that in the chat too and tell me where you've been thinking about going and what you've been thinking about doing. Let me know your thoughts. And one of the things that I was thinking about at one time, I did give some consideration to maybe in the beginning moving to maybe the islands or South America, certain parts of South America, and then I also thought about Africa. Uh, it seems like a great idea. It seems like it'd be something very cool to do. But I got my friend Jay here, and he's experienced with it. He's traveled different portions of the world. He's lived here. He lived in the rural county area in the country, as we would say, and he's also lived abroad. So I figured, why don't we hear from someone who has experienced these things and who has lived these things, and that way they can give us a good understanding. And so I made it to my destination, y'all. I'm fixing to get ready and go in here and switch to the laptop. I do apologize, but life be lifing, and sometimes things don't go the way we plan. We thought about the Bahamas. Oh, okay. Well, I got family in the Bahamas. I need to connect with them. My dad family is from the Bahamas. Um, we got quite a few relatives in the Bahamas, so yeah, that would be a cool place. Thought about Bahamas. I thought about Jamaica. It's something about that beautiful scenery in Jamaica. How you doing, Black Guns? What's going on? Belize. Okay, Belize. I've definitely seen some great test. Good morning, AB. Good morning. Where else have y'all been thinking about? Have you been thinking about some places here in the great United States of America? What states have you considered, if you considered some states? If you can, put it in the chat. Let me know which states have you considered. And Jay, if you in here, please send me a little message in the chat. Let me know you're waiting, because I'm on this cell phone. I transition to my laptop, and then that way I can see everything, because right now I'm limited on my view. And I'll be up in just 1 sec. Now, another state that I thought about, I consider Georgia, of course. I definitely want to stay in the South. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to go up north. And the only reason why I don't want to go up north, because I really don't want to do the cold weather. That's the only thing, But I seems to be, the older I get, the better the cold weather gets. But I like being like warm. I don't like being just straight hot, but I like being warm, and that cold weather kind of get to me. And I don't know, for some reason I just can't get down with the cold weather. So that's one of them things that that's probably the only reason why I probably would probably be somewhere um, in maybe North Carolina or Virginia area, somewhere around there. Seems like that's a beautiful place, beautiful land, and it looks pretty good. You here, fam? Okay, good, good, good. I'm logging in, trying my best to get everything started, and of course, whenever you're trying to get everything going, things don't want to work as fast as you want it to. But give me a few seconds. I'm gonna bring you up. The off the grid trucker, what's going on? Peace and blessing to you too, my brother. Good to see you too as well. Traveling via RV to different cities around the USA for my husband's work. Okay, we considered taking our RV at the time when we had our RV to kind of travel around. But I think if I had to travel around, I would definitely want a different type of RV. I wouldn't want to pull behind like I had. I definitely wouldn't want that, because man, the setup is something serious. The only way I would probably want something like that is if I could like have it where it's automated, like them fifth wheels where they got the leveling and all that kind of stuff. But man, having a pull behind, and the one we had, it was like 37 feet. It was too big. It was too much work to just kind of put that together. How you doing? Good to see you, Auntie. What's going on? Many blessings to you, Auntie Ellen. Good to see you. The cold weather, Bush. What's going on? What's going on? Maybe a class C. Yeah, yeah. I think if I had to do that, it would definitely be like a class C. If I had to go that route, I would definitely do the class C route.
Jay, I'm trying my best to log on, and of course, like I said, whenever you're trying to get something going, here we go. I'm coming in. I'm coming in. Let me get into the studio again, and we'll be up and ready real soon.
All right, y'all. Let me get adjusted. I think I'm good. All right, Jay. I don't see you in the background, my brother. I'm gonna put a link up real quick, okay? And if you can jump on in, I'm gonna put a link up for you. And if also this is part two. If someone else would like to kind of jump on in and chime on in, if you've seen part one and you want to either ask Jason questions or ask myself some questions, or if you want to kind of talk about your testimony too as well, you can come on in too as well. So let's see. I just put the link up, Jay. So if you can just click on that link and come on in. Come on in and we'll go ahead and get started. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We considered quite a few states. I got a cousin that lives in Texas, and she'd been trying to get me over in Texas. And that Texas thing, I was tempted, but I didn't come over and take a look. I just kind of went with what I was kind of familiar with. Ever since from a child, I always wanted to be, I always wanted to be in Florida. My dad lived in Florida. I spent my summers in Florida. And time I got grown, and after I got married, me and Gigi, we went straight down to Florida. And I don't have no regrets. I know a lot of times Florida get a bad press, but it may not be ideal for homesteading. But fam, I'm trying to tell you, things are changing so rapidly and so quick. We're having more and more people who are hanging it up, who's leaving things alone, who's walking away from their 9 to 5 or from their careers. And we're having especially Generation X's. They're getting to the part where they're listening to some of the youth and they watching what happened back in 2020. And they're taking a hard look at what they're doing and how they're doing it. And they're saying, hey, I think I want to live a little bit. And like I told you all before, when that 50 turns around, I had a different outlook, different perspective on life. And some of my goals start to change and a lot of different things start to change. And as that happened, I never liked the idea of working 40 years and then saving, quote, for 40 years, even though you really can't theoretically save for 40 years because things happen and life be life and you be trying to save, but then sometimes you leave a job, you go to another job, which I never understood. Just like Social Security, for me, you should be able to have a retirement account and manage your own retirement account and have it where you can move place to place from a young age all the way through. And you should be able to have access or be able to lend, borrow from yourself and do all those other things without all these penalties, with all these taxations and with all these fines. You know what I'm saying? It's like they say that they give you these penalties so that you can be so that you won't dig into or reach into your retirement. But really, that's a flaw. That's a lie, because when time and life be life and you need your resources, you need your money, people are going to dip into their savings no matter what. And they're going to sacrifice the hit a lot of cases. And we're seeing that because we're seeing more and more professional people are now becoming homeless. We're seeing them downsizing. We're seeing people really taking a serious look at what they're doing. And they're like, okay, what's going on? Like, I'm looking at life as a different way. I'm not keep paying as much for rent, not going to keep paying as much for a mortgage, not going to keep paying as much for taxes. And now we hearing more and more people who selling their homes, who going tiny living, or who going on the road, who traveling the road, who seeing more of life and who trying to experience more of life. Because I keep saying, just like I said before, 50 years may seem like a long time if you're 19 and 20 years old, but when you hit 50, when you hit 50, man, let me tell you, all this stuff, what you were saying that may have took, it may seem like it's a long time, but when that 50 drops in, and then you be like, man, what a time go. When you sit here and you watching kids grow up, you watching your nephew, you watching your children, you watching all this stuff change, and you like, man, time is timing. And then you like, when do I live? Do I wait till I'm 70, 67 years old, 70 years old, and then maybe I want to move abroad? Or maybe then I want to start my homestead at the age of 67 or 68. Nothing wrong with that. But if I had to do it all over again, I would have changed that time to maybe 30, 35. But then it's like when I was at 30, 35, felt like I was at the pinnacle of my career. I feel like things was lifing and life was lifing and things were chucking along, but I was in that system. And I really didn't look at breaking free from the system. I thought that to get the house, to get the rental property, to take care of your kids, to have the great schools, the great zip code, the great house, the great neighborhoods, the manicured lawns and all that. I was into that fix. I was into that thing where, yes, this is living. And then when you get it and you have it, it's like, for me, it was like emptiness. It was straight emptiness. So we got my brother Jay. What's going on, Jay? Good to see you, my brother. Welcome in. Thank you again for part 2. Thank you for coming in on part 2. How you doing today? You're on mute too. You're on mute, my brother. I'm looking at, let me unmute you. I'm going to unmute you, okay? I can't unmute you. Can you unmute yourself? It's showing your mic is muted. There you go. I think you're unmuted now. Now you bite muted again. You were. Hit the space bar.
How about now?
There you go. There you go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Good to see you.
Okay. Man, it's good to see you too, bro. Welcome. Thank you for having me, man. I don't know, man. I done off, on, reset it. My computer just acting on it, boy.
But you know how live is. Anytime you're trying to do something, anytime you're trying to be a blessing to somebody, you're trying to do good. That's when things happen. You getting ready to go pick somebody up, and then your car won't start, or you got a flat tire. You know what I'm saying? You're getting ready to go help somebody, and then all of a sudden a bill pop up, and then you be like, man, I know I committed to this person, told her I was gonna take care of him, and then boom. That's how life be life, y'all.
That's it, baby. That's it right there.
And then here it is, man. Where I'm up like 5, maybe 4 something in the morning, and I'm doing things, I'm handling stuff, and I said, I know I got to be live at 11 o'clock, and then I had to go do some business downtown, and there's no reason in the world I shouldn't have been sitting here at the time, and man, next thing you know, I'm looking at the time. I'm in Walmart with a bucket full of stuff, and it's 20 till, and I said, "Oh my goodness, man!" And I know I'm 25 minutes out from the from Walmart, and so I said, "Oh man, I'm running late. I'm running late to my own live." So I do apologize. It was a little wonky and a little noisy and a little off. Bro. So I apologize for that, my brother.
It's all love. Like you said, life be life. And man, hell, I knew that I wasn't going to miss this. A pack of wild horses couldn't keep me away from this, man. So I done only been asleep about maybe 40 minutes. I still, for whatever reason, I think I'm in my 20s, bro. I literally done been up all night. I took about an hour and a half, little siesta. And here I am. I got up, so I said, I ain't gonna miss this live with my brother because it was hitting too hard last time we got together and had this conversation. So
My brother, you know,
we right here together.
I don't watch that thing at least twice, and I'm like, bruh, man, I'm like, man, my head just keep exploding, and I'm so thankful for you and your knowledge and your experience, and along with your queen too chiming in. But I really appreciate you being transparent, because not a lot of people want to be transparent. You know, I didn't know this until I really did start doing this YouTube and start sharing my journey, that we have people out here who really doing the thing, and they're doing it just like what we're doing, but they don't want to show times when they fail. I should say fail. When they have disappointments, they don't want to show times where it's not perfect, it's not put together. They don't want to show their vulnerability. And I'm like, we're human. And I think people really need to know, you know, it's nothing negative. It's nothing like we're speaking something to deter anybody. But what we're trying to do is be like, you know, hey, this thing is real, my brother.
It's very real. And you know, when it comes to that, when I think about real, I'm talking about deep diving. I'm talking about interpersonal, just sitting down with myself, like spiritually. I realized that my time here, it's a little deeper than that, Eco, because that's also what helped me shed my ego. Because our ego is the primary and root cause of why sometimes we as humans, people, adults, we worry about what other folk thinking and how they feel about this and how they feel about that, man. I'm gonna tell you, bro, from my lived experience, the older I get, the more I marinate on it. I ain't gonna be here for forever.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be here for forever. Why am I worried about? Let me show you what I'm gonna show you. If you can draw something from it and take away something from it, at the end of the day, that's it, man. You feel how you feel about me.
You know, I feel you so much on that statement. And a lot of people, they be like, okay, why would you want to walk away, and why would you want to have a hard time in life? Why would you want to take yourself through this whole thing? And it's one of those things where unless you're there mentally, you really won't understand the plight or the trajectory of where we're trying to go, because there's a point where you be like, stuff don't really matter no more. You know, some people ask, you know, not to get into politics, but some people say, why would a wealthy man want to run for president? Why would a man who has everything run for president? There comes a point in your life where once you obtain and you obtain a lot of physical, materialistic things, you come to the realization that life is delicate, it's short. And then what you want to do, you want to leave something for the next person and the next person and the next person. You know what I'm saying? You don't just want to be here. Right. It's almost like the in the book of life, it said Methuselah lived 960 some odd years and he died. I want something in between that birth date and that death date. You know what I'm saying? I want to leave something here instead of just taking everything and hoarding it to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
So
that's yeah.
So you know, let's go ahead and jump into part 2. Let's get into some of this about 969. I knew it was 960 something. I couldn't remember. Appreciate that, AB. 969 years. I'm not saying that Methuselah didn't do nothing, but come on. Sometimes you got to put things in the atmosphere. And this is for all my humble people, all my people who are just, you know, meek and humble. You also have to, you have to put your life out there just a little bit as a testimony, because you went through the test. Now you got to testify and you got to give a testimony, because the fact of how you're going to help somebody if you just tucked away in a corner and you're waiting on somebody to come to you and ask you something. Sometimes you got to take the proactive approach and put yourself on a platform or write a book or teach some classes or some courses. You got to do some things to put yourself out there to help humanity, because this thing is not just about self. You know what I'm saying? This thing called journey, this stuff in life is about, you know, you learn for somebody else, and then you teach one, and then you share with somebody else.
Fact. Yep.
So my good friend, I gotta ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Ask me.
Now, you and your wife went to Africa, right? Did you
Yes, sir.
experience conflict? And what type of conflict did you experience? And what should someone who may be thinking about leaving, what should they keep their eyes out for? You know, we understood about culture and different things like that. But one thing that concerns me is if I did live abroad, how would I deal with conflict? Because I'm quite sure conflict is a little bit different. And we know so much in America where we're from. We know the rules of engagement. We know certain things that we should escalate and certain things we shouldn't escalate. Some things we should take more serious than others. How do you discern conflict, and how do you approach it? How did you deal with it?
Ooh, man. First thing I would recommend to anybody, if you're an American and you live in abroad anywhere, not just Africa, but since that's where I live as a civilian, the longest length of time, I would say, first off, stay out them folk business and you can't even speak the language. That's how you keep yourself safe. That's your point of origin. That's your point of start. Minding your own business and staying out them folk business, and you don't know what they even talking about right around you, right? And secondly, when you if you do decide to insert yourself, the depths of I just put it like this, man, stay out them folk business. Luckily, in most African countries, it's sort of a unique thing. They have elections every 5 years. So I was just right in that window. When we first got there in 2020, they had a newly elected president in former President Michael, who had just been elected. So I didn't have a concern of a election for another 5 years. But in different parts of East Africa and Central Africa, and honestly all over the continent, bro, you never know how it's gonna go. You never know how it's gonna go, and that's something that I encourage people to pay attention to and learn a little bit about the political structure, whether they go off of a parliamentary system or whether they have more of a whatever system they got. Know about it, know your place in it, and still mind your business, because you don't want to find yourself in a circumstance where you wake up, you can get away over here in the U.S. without paying attention to politics at all, right? Because if you don't like this guy, you don't like this woman, you can just keep living your life, and you know, the world keep on turning. Over there, man, it might really dictate whether you leave the house or not, in the sense of the streets flooded, people protesting, different factions are at each other, and you thinking you can just get away by ignoring it like you do here. No, man. No.
So it's more intricate as far as politics intertwine with your everyday life in your experience. Now, okay.
Absolutely.
So would you say that your experiences have helped you for right now? Because I don't think we really understand in America how blessed we are. How things are so consistent, how things are so protected. It's almost like when a storm comes, we already know we got help from the government coming. It's eventually coming. when the election happened, or when someone wins election, we might have a rally, we might, you know, have some parades or different stuff like that. But then it's like it's tucked away. You know what I'm saying? But from what you're telling me, it can get a little, like, I guess, emotional, or it can get emotionally charged in the area, and it might create some type of threat for you and the way that you live on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. It disrupt business. It can disrupt this or that, but man, I really want, like you used the key word. You said blessed. This just my personal experience. I know America is so imperfect. She is so imperfect, but I don't think you can tell when you talk to certain people that they don't know how real this thing is, because when you in a lot of other countries that I've lived in and visited, you really don't have a local government the same way you do here. The government is your local government. The government is everything. The government is everything. The government the one to come take. The government is the one to oversee the land. The government is the one that does this, that, and the third, while simultaneously not providing no safety nets. You don't have the social safety nets. You may be very limited or reduced in dissent. And what I mean by that is your freedom to object political figures and parties make you find yourself out there with them hyenas. If you keep playing, it can go wrong real quick, bro.
So that's another thing that I was concerned about. You know, we have people over here in this country, the USA, where they won't even go and buy land because they worried about government coming and seizing land. They worried about people doing eminent domains and all of that kind of stuff. They're talking themselves out of buying land here. How about abroad? You know, is that like a concern? Because you've been abroad, you've had a homestead. Were you ever kind of concerned about maybe civil unrest and maybe tribes reclaiming their land or different things like that? Have you ever heard of anything like that happening, or were there examples of something like that you kind of heard about?
Man, for one, being realistically, because I'm a realistic person, in the back of my mind, irrespective to the investment made, I knew that this could go away at any time. And I'm gonna be real with you. I knew that it was that volatile and that susceptible to the powers that be. That's just the truth. Now, it's not like that for every African country. I was in Tanzania, and I also we have a business partner, and so that gave me a little bit of leeway. But at the same time, man, at the end of the day, Eco, you if you just think that just because you got a little bit more money or a lot of bit more money than some of the local people or in that area, your money only take you so far. It's all about relationships. And I'm gonna make a good point, man. And this is just me saying this to all my people who, if this is your fallback, because we got asked a couple of times, like, what made y'all leave? Did y'all leave because of, I'm not gonna name the situation, let's just call it that thing that happened back in 2020. Or did you leave because you didn't like the president? What made y'all run? First off, I ain't run no damn way. I left because I was in a deep state of depression and sadness because I lost my mama and my brother inside of 8 months. My wife loved everybody I love just because we family. And I was going through a mental state. My wife was going through a mental state. We lost inside of about 11 months, and it took a physical toll on both of us. We said we just want to do something different. We need to be away. We need to restart life. We need to recharge. We need to refresh. That's why we left. But at the same time, I got to be honest. I saw people who did leave under the, I ain't gonna say they was running, but they were really just trying to get away or escape the mood and the state of America at the time. And I'm telling you, in my lived experience, in my opinion, if all hell break loose here in America, and you think you finna just waltz over the DFW and catch the thing smoking, you might want to reconsider and readjust your plan. You really might want to think that through. If that's gonna be, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just telling you it might not work as smoothly as you think it's gonna go. Because I've seen people do it, especially if you going somewhere you ain't never been before. What you gonna do once you get there? What you gonna do once you get there? Where you gonna work? How you gonna feed yourself? How you gonna get in contact with your bank over here in the U.S.? How you gonna, do you even have a passport yet? Like it's a lot to think about, Rob. I ain't mean to monologue too long, bro. But
no. I mean, you brought up, that's the thing about part one, where I knew we had to have that continuation of that dialogue, because my brother, I never even, half of the things that you listed, I never even thought about. In being prepared to even begin, I'm already thinking about buying land, finding the land. I'm thinking about the fun stuff, trying to find the best place and this and that. And then I knew it would probably be a challenge once I found something. Then I gotta negotiate. I gotta make sure I appease the people, appease the culture, and all that kind of stuff. I kind of understood that, but I had no idea. I didn't think about citizenship. I didn't think about my passport. I didn't think about a lot of different things. Didn't think about the travel in and out. None of that stuff. And so you just added so much to it that I was like, man, I would have been so, I don't know. I keep saying, my brother, just doing it here sometimes made me want to walk away. Just doing it here made me want to, like, man,
I know that, right?
Man, I'm finna just go back to corporate America, get my job. I go and get another house. Sell it all. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even wrap my brain around that. But you brought up something that really, really stuck with me just a few minutes ago. You said something that I really wish that we would really listen to. And I said a video before, learning to let go and learning the value of things. You said you have to mentally be prepared to lose it all at any time. I don't think people really wrap their brain around that statement that you just said.
Bruh, I mean, I'm glad you brought that back up, Pico. And excuse me if I'm sorry for wiping my nose, y'all. I'm fighting allergies over here, so man, if I hit my camera or something,
we human.
Thank you, bro. I don't think people for that, and like as American, I can speak as Americans. I can speak as a Texan. When you live in a whether you love the police or can't, I bet under the wrong circumstances, you will still hit that thing and push them 3 little numbers, 911. And when you over there, if somebody do you wrong, you or make you unhappy, or say they finna come take your land or take, disputes are handled very differently. Criminal disputes, civil disputes, all of this stuff is handled very differently. Who you gonna call? Let me ask you that. If you stuck in that position where government officials roll up on you and be like, yeah, you know what? We getting ready to take all of this over here. I know you living here now, but you're an American. You're leasing this land. So even though you the one leasing and you done paid somebody else for X amount of years worth of you, the money ain't gonna go to you, baby.
That's it.
The money gonna go to the actual landowners. So that's just the reality of it. If you ain't finna deal with that, you might want to keep that home field advantage and start looking around the Texas or Florida area or somewhere out west or something and find you a little chunk of soil to call on, unless you want to deal with it.
So I mean, a lot of it I can make that comparison even here on in America. Like for instance, you mentioned about the fact of, you know, like law enforcement, what have you. Right now, if I fail, or if somebody, no, let's just say I see somebody walking on my land right now. I'm looking out the window right now. I see somebody tiptoeing around my land, and they got a gun. It's probably about 2 or 3 of them. And they walking on my land, and they're getting ready to enter into my home right now. You can call, but you best know the sheriff's number over the 911 number, because the 911 will ask you 50 million questions. You know what I'm saying? And you best know a sheriff that's close to you and close by you. You best get to know your sheriff in your area. You know what I'm saying? Know who patrol and how they patrol. But by the time you call them, I got Ask the Lawman in the chat too. Y'all can ask the lawman. By the time they get to you, 20, 40, 50 minutes ago, because you're in the country. If you're lucky, you get 20, 40, 50 minutes. If you're lucky, depends on what time of the day.
Right.
20, a lot can happen in 20 minutes to an hour.
Man,
a lot can
come on. Yes. Yeah.
And
hell,
if
a
you're
lot
not
can
prepared,
happen in 20. If you've never been, come on. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I'm going to yield because I know you got something to add to that.
No, I was just gonna say, man. Hell, a lot can happen in 20 seconds if you done ever threw hands with somebody. If you done ever knuckled up, just literally swinging your heart out for 20 seconds, baby. Most people don't have the conditioning to just do that. So think about a full 20 minutes with 3 dudes or 3 persons, male or female, walking around your house, walking around your property, finna hit you with that dulo. Look, y'all, and I'm glad Eco brought this up because this is on the U.S. side of things. When you out in a rural area, I don't know, I can only speak for Texas. Texas got, I want to say, 253 counties. That's how big Texas is. It got 253 counties. And some of these counties are the size of small parts of declared area up in the Northeast. When you get up to like Maine and Rhode Island and stuff, I think Rhode Island can fit in the state of Texas about 52 times. It's a big place over here. I said all that to say this. Man, some of these counties don't have massive budget, right? So they may only have 4 or 5 sheriffs. They got it's kind of around the perimeter or whatnot. But man, you set off that phone call. This is why being able to protect your family and yourself is so important. The nearest sheriff or sheriff deputy might be, Eco not exaggerating, might be 40 minutes away from you, might be an hour away from you. They get the call and they still got to drive with their lights going. They got the cherries turning, but they still 30 minutes away, man. Who gonna keep you safe in that 30, 40 minutes till they get to your house? I'm done, bro.
Now,
I'm gonna stop right there.
Right now, here we go right here. This is a testimony of somebody that is currently in law enforcement. Ask the Lawman says the average response time in his area is 40 to 60 minutes.
There you go.
Fam.
I'm
telling you, life is not a bunch of little cherries and just sugar walkways. You're gonna have to find something within yourself when you're homesteading. You're gonna have animals gonna get sick. You're gonna have your animals gonna get attacked. You might even get attacked by animals, 2-legged, 4-legged. You're gonna have mischievous people. And I'm telling you, fam, teenagers in the city, they just the same teenagers in the country. You got teenagers that get very mischievous. They get curious.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they don't have no filter. And you got to make sure you can discern, because just because you got property and just because they trespass and you got trespassing signs, you can't just do what you want to do. So that's that last week you talked about, Jay, and I want you to go and touch on this again for me and kind of give us a little bit more detail. You and your machete, but you said something outside that machete. You talked about negotiation, communication, having alternative ways to bring about peace, and to kind of level situations down, because you might be full throttle, the adrenaline might be running, and you might think you can hold and throw them dukes up or give a 2-piece snack, but you're gonna need a whole lot of 2-piece snack. You're gonna need a bucket of chicken. You're gonna need a bucket of chicken out here with these country folks. Because I'm telling you, they pick up pigs and cows, and they ain't built the same way.
Exactly. Yep. Now that's real, bro. Because even on my worst day, as I still got it a little bit. But like you said, you think you finna just whoop up on the 3-4 folks who run up on you. I like to always emphasize, and especially somebody who is a member of the 2A community, and it's a right that I take very seriously, but it also comes with a lot of responsibility, because my first and most prominent attempt is always to I'll even retreat if need be, knowing I have the necessary.
Talk to me about that. Talk to me, brother.
I will. Because if I know I got what it takes to put you to neutralize this threat, I will retreat. I ain't worried about my manhood or what folk gonna say or call me. Baby, all I gotta do is pull it out and squeeze a couple times, and I'm a real tight shot. So I will fall back. I try to use what some people refer to as verbal judo. I use my words. I use my intellect. I use everything I got in my favor to de-escalate a situation without feeling emasculated or intimidated, because I'm down here in the great state of Texas, baby. Everybody got them things. You might see a little kid at the store. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got some jungle juice money? No, I ain't got no jungle juice money. Well, you got to do that with kids. You got to do it in the city. You got to do it when you out in the country. Sometimes just be that bigger person, especially when you have the ways and means to protect yourself. Don't feel ashamed. They go for men and women. I know it hit a little different for us men folk, but for women, because some of y'all out there kind of wilding too. Don't fight it. Don't argue with that woman at the red light. You let her go on and go over to the house store and get her wig and get some Chinese food after that and go back to the house with all her kids. It ain't worth it, family. It ain't worth it. Be prepared for whatever.
And that's the thing, Jay. I look at a lot of wildlife, my brother. I look at a lot of wildlife shows. But I've seen lions walk into a situation, and it might be water buffalo, it might be some elephants or whatever, and that lion be like, not today. I ain't finna go down there today. I think I'm fixing to retreat. Or I seen a bear on top of a carcass, eating, getting it down.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden a pack of wild dogs, or all of a sudden some wolves, or if it's enough of them around them, or some more bears. You know what they do? They might take that last little bite and they take off. And guess what they do? They get to live another day. And there's a word that we don't use a lot. We got a lot of slang terms, but we need to go back to where we use this word more often. It's called wit. We need to tap into us. Do you know all of us have wit? What happened to that? For some reason, we get caught up in our situation, and we realize that because we've seen a lot of stuff on this tube, and we've seen a lot of stuff on our phones, we've seen a lot of stuff on these videos. But understand, your life is very delicate. Even out here on the homestead, you go out here, it's just like I said about my dogs. I hated to lose my dog. I hated for my dogs to get missing. But
I saw
wit
that. Yeah.
and wisdom said it's lightning out there, it's storming, and there's debris flying around, the wind is whipping around. And not only that, the long-term game says if I'm sick and I'm here on the homestead, I'm it. You know, I got Gigi. I get that. But we need each other. Right. It's time where I say, Gigi, can you get to this other side? Gigi, I can't do it. I'm not feeling well. I can't imagine. Here I am compromising myself. And I said, dog, you know, sometimes in life, it going back to what you said about, man, I want to replay what you said about sometimes you're going to have to lose it all, but you're going to gain and maintain your life. That's what you were really saying.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's it.
We got to understand, fam, if we could learn more of this, we would have less of these deleting ourselves. And we'll realize that this stuff, if you made $1 million, you can make $1 million again. If you bought a house, you can buy a house again. You bought a car, get them the car. Why stress yourself out? Have your blood pressure, now you're on medication. Get them the freaking car.
Yep.
It don't matter if it's a challenge or whatever. Stop hiding it. Stop tugging it away. Stop putting it over to your mama house and auntie house. Give them the freaking car. Yep. Take that payment that you were going to be paying and get yourself back on track. And come back and recollect and reorganize and have a sense where you can sleep at night saying they got their stuff. I realize I'm gonna deal with it later. I can't deal with it now. But now we're in a better place. My family in a better place. Now I can give a little bit more because I don't have that burden no more. I might have to get this knockabout ride, this $600 ride, this $700, this $1,000 ride. I might have to put some new tires on it, but it ain't number 1 or 2 payments.
Come
Bam.
on.
This cycle, this thing we call life, this is the reason why we homestead. We're breaking these cycles. And I'm telling you, the laws are changing where it's not favorable for you to have your own, for you to maintain your own, and not only have your own, but have your own paid for. Fam,
yes, sir.
If I stop paying my bills tomorrow, people say, you can lose your land. Okay, I'll come up with $200 a year. I'll come up with $200 a year.
Hold on a minute, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He gonna say that one more time. I need you to emphasize that year part. Say that we talking about $200 a year. Man, hell, you can go out there and collect cans and pay your damn land taxes. Am I lying? You mean to tell me you can't walk through the woods and pick up old batteries and sell cans and do something just to cover your land tax? You could live in a damn tent and still be okay, but you got your land for $200 a year. Meanwhile, if you break it down here, some people, if depending on their mortgage, they literally paying $200 a day. You paying hotel prices.
What?
Come on.
And the sad part about what I found myself, and I'm not talking about nobody else. I ain't talking about nobody in the chat. I ain't talking about nobody that I thought about. I'm talking about I found myself when I was in this cycle that I was paying my mortgage. I was paying my taxes. I was paying my insurance. And I didn't even know certain parts of my house. I haven't even seen certain parts of my house. I don't even sleep or even sit in certain parts of my house. I don't even know what it smell like, what it look like. I wouldn't even go upstairs. And here I am sacrificing everything for maybe, let's be transparent. The house was great for entertainment. Guess what? How often did I entertain? Maybe 10 times a year. I'm sacrificing my whole life, everything, every day in this cycle, rat race or cycle for 10 days out the year. For people that just gonna be there for maybe an hour, 2, 3 hours. But it took me 2 and 3 weeks to go clean the dust out that I ain't even been in rooms just to get it nice and smelling fresh and smelling clean and wiping down walls. Fam, life, we make it complicated. We make life complicated because we worried about sweat equity, a little bit of time, a little bit of sacrifice, But guess what? The difference is with homesteading, being out here is, look, it's what it is. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, right? It's the middle of the day.
All day. Yeah.
I mean, I might punch a clock every now and then, but I choose whether I punch a clock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I lose something, I still gonna have my land. If I lose something, I'm still gonna have a place to go. If I lose something, I still got food out here. If I lose something, I got something I can sell. You know, fam, we gonna have to clear our minds and think of not just abroad, living abroad, but even when we get ready to live abroad, we gotta get to the part where materialistic stuff will come and go. And if they take my land tomorrow, if they take the homestead tomorrow, guess what I can do? Get another homestead, because guess what? I've done it before.
Right.
And life hits different when you've done it before.
Come on, because you know you can do it again. Come on.
That's the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing. If you ever went to a public restroom, right? Do you not know that millionaires sit on the same toilet that you sit on? Billionaires sit on the same toilet that you sit on. They flush the same toilet. They wash their hands from the same sink. And somehow we think that we won't, or we don't have, or we're lacking. But we got access to it. We got access to it. But I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna let you have the floor, because you my guest, and I want to respect, and I want to hear some of your wisdom. But one thing I want to say, fam, don't get sick. Don't get sick. Don't need nobody to come wipe your butt to roll you over. Don't need nobody to come clean your nostrils, or you slobbing to wipe the slob from your mouth. Because if you ever get in a situation like that, you ain't worried about that light bill. You ain't worried about that car payment. You ain't worried about a lot of different things. All you worried about is, Lord, give me the strength to make it out this bed, and let me spend more time with my family. Let me spend more time with the people I love. Let me be able to be a help and an aid to somebody else. Let me do good to other people in the community. Let me give. Let me give a part of myself. And then now, once your mindset get to that point, now you're ready for homesteading. Now you're ready to give and get off this rat race. Because I'm telling you, if your mindset ain't there, you go and get out here in the country, you start seeing these F550s, F350s. Then you start seeing these combines. You start seeing these tractors that can swallow everything. Then you start trying to chase the bag again out here in the country. And these people they spent their money out for generations. They done took government loans, subsidies, and these people keep talking about, I don't live off the government. I pull up my own bootstrap. Yeah, they tell you that, but they getting subsidies. They getting write-offs. They getting all of this stuff, and you keep listening at people instead of actually trying to do it. You're going to realize that, man, stop talking to me. I'm finna do it. I'm fixing to go for the goal, because you out here for a reason, and you driving this big truck. It got to be something out here. And if you can do it, Lord knows I done had conversation with some of them. If you can do it, I know I can do it. And so, fam, the goal was to make you want to run from agriculture, to make you want to run from growing your own, to make you want to run from land ownership, to make you want to run from ownership, period, to make you want to run from layaway, to make you want to run from all of this stuff where you paying and you owe no man nothing. You don't have to give no man nothing. And guess what? You running away from that to the part where now they got mortgages now where it's 40 years. Okay, I buy a house and now I'm going to give you 40 years to pay for it. And our babies out here, 20 years old, 30 years old, and some of them didn't want to leave the house, and they ain't buying their first house until they get 40 or 50 years old, and they signing up for a 40-year mortgage. Fam, please share. Even if you say, I'm doing this, but I'm doing this for my family, share with your kids. You starting something from nothing. You growing something from nothing, because you're going to show them a work ethic. You're going to show them that they can do it. You're going to show them disappointment. You're gonna show them commitment. You're gonna show them resiliency, and you're gonna get this quality within yourself that's gonna burn. That a lot of stuff that used to matter ain't gonna matter no more.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Jay.
Woo.
But you got me started with some of that stuff, man.
Woo. See, you preaching now, bro. You on fire. I want to try to remember the points that I want to try to touch on. So I'm gonna start here. When you get out in rural America, rural US, hashtag Anytown America, man, that is why I'm so quick. Now I know some of my people ain't living the best, and some of my people wrong, but baby, you got some country welfare queens too. You got some country welfare queens. You got folk, man. What Eco, when you said them doggone F-350, I know that's $110,000 truck or $150,000
low end, baby, low end.
You out here low end. Everything you listed, man. We talking about subsidies. We talking about tax breaks. We talking about all of these go-betweens. But you point your finger at, hey, everybody in the chat, what's going on, my people? I see y'all.
What's going on, everybody?
VP
Good to see y'all.
Dana, man, Kathy B. POA. I think I seen my sweet pea in here a while ago.
Yeah, she in there. Queen in there.
You know, okay. Y'all out here, doing the same thing a lot of folks in the city doing too. You just doing it in a different way. And like you said, it's a lot going on with farmers right now, with black farmers, which is what I'm on the precipice of eventually being once we get more things around here solidified. Bro, I'm telling you, don't let these folk hit you with the okie doke, because me personally, I want to see everybody win, but I don't like it when people downplay somebody else for the same stuff that they doing. They out here winning, man. They out here winning. And in fact, some farmers get paid, they get completely subsidized to destroy their whole crops. I ain't gonna get into this too deep, Rod. Because me and you go down this rabbit hole.
You already know we can roll now. You already know we can roll.
I'm just saying, baby, it be people who destroy their entire crops, and they go ahead and take that $150,000, knowing good and doggone well they didn't have at end sale. They might have made 80. Government say, well, just don't about that. You just go ahead and till that over, and we'll give you X amount of money. So, you know, you pulling yourself up by your straps, but bro, you really low key kind of chilling. You low key kind of chilling. And farmers are important, man. Farmers are important. Agriculture is important, and that's another thing you brought up. Is so important for us to anything that we as a people, and I try to really be careful with the race element, but I gotta speak truth when the truth is the truth. Anything that we are discouraged from doing, I'm more apt to look into it. You tell me I should be hanging out at Foot Locker all day, every Friday, every time I get paid, or every 2 weeks I need to be going to get another pair of shoes. That's what I don't want to go do. You tell me I shouldn't be worried about no tractors. I shouldn't be worried about no cows or horses. That's what I'm finna go do. They got one of the biggest trail rides coming up in the state of Texas. One of the biggest ones in the country, down there in over here in the eastern part of Texas. This is south of me. But man, we got to get our stuff together, folks.
Yeah.
And right now, I am talking to black people. I am talking to people who look like me, because you've been duped out of a way to keep you and your family alive without nobody help. And that don't never make you want to scratch your head. You ain't never said, why I can't have no cow? Why I can't have no chicken? Why do I have to live in what some refer to as a concrete jungle? Man, you better get your ass out there and learn how to do something, learn how to grow something, learn how to be something, learn how to have something, learn how to maintain something without counting on nobody else. Or you at the behest of them. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you brought up something good and valuable. You know, this is the difference. if you're in the concrete jungle and you're getting subsidies, you don't own the concrete, you don't own the building, you don't own the transportation, you don't own the infrastructure. If you in the country getting subsidies, you own the land, you own the tractor, you own the combine, you own the cows, you own the pigs, the chickens, you own the farmland, you even own the irrigation system because they get irrigation, you own the greenhouse.
Yes,
the
sir.
difference is it's quite different. In the city, in the norm in the city, it's not promoted to ownership. It's promoted for convenience.
Exactly.
In the country, it's promoted for I gotta get this because I gotta survive. I gotta have this because I gotta survive. And see, your mindset start to change, and then you start saying, well, if this gets cut off, I at least have this. Versus if this gets cut off in the concrete jungle, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm gonna live. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
My God.
So what I'm trying us to break this cycle of, if you like the city, have you ever thought about starting your own city? If you like having a community, have you ever thought about going to the country and starting a community? If you like having a HOA, have you ever thought about having your own HOA? I think I got about, right now, I'm sitting on 20 acres, right? And I think it said that's equivalent of 12 point some odd blocks, city blocks. Right.
Bro, that's a town. You live on a town. And I gotta say this real quick, Eco. Just real quick, bro. For everything you saying, this is where I do have a problem with my people. And this is where it ain't about me trying to step out my lane and hold other people accountable, but I do believe in calling a thing, because I've been young, I've been ignorant before. I grew up in less desirable circumstances. For everything this man just said, it breaks my heart when I hear young people out here talking about they from the 1300 block, or they this block, or they this point. Man, you don't own the damn thing over there. You standing out for the ones who trying to live right. You hanging outside waiting for the rec center to open so they can let you in. You don't own not nary an apartment building. You don't even own your house. Your mama and them been renting the whole time you've been alive. But you over here willing to sacrifice your life for a doggone block that somebody else owns. Stop it, man. But go ahead, Eco. I had to.
You just brought out. Let me share something again. This is a testimony. Y'all seen the video. When I was trying to get the electricity to the property, right? I had to buy land. I had to work with my neighbors, right? And my neighbor was great and kind and allowed me to do an easement where I was able to bring in the power lines and bring in all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting somewhere. Be patient with me. My buddy, one of my neighbors said, the one that helped me clear the land, he helped me clear the right of way. Y'all seen the video. We started a fire on this dirt road, middle of nowhere, and somebody called 911 on us. And the fire marshal came out, the volunteer fire departments, the sheriff, everybody came out. It was a big to-do. They shut down the road, everything. They ended up putting out the fire.
Yeah.
They put out this big old smoldering fire, and I'm talking about it was a big fire, right? And the fire marshal had a conversation with me. He said, we're going to have to shut this fire down. He said, but I'm telling you, he said, if you was back maybe another 30 feet away from where you were, you could tell us to go, it's under control, and get off your land. He says, the fact that you own the right of way is still public land. But going back to that block thing, you still got police, you still got law enforcement. But one thing the fire marshal told me, if this was on your land, you could tell us get off, and we got to get off. That's a big
Yep.
difference in your block.
Big difference.
When
Yes, sir.
when it's your block, you can tell them, get off my land, get off my property. And guess
Yep.
what? According to the law, we know we got lawbreakers, and you deal with lawbreakers. But we're talking about having rights and having protection and a buffer. But what I was saying about the land is, why in the world can't we come together? And if one person can come together and can purchase some land that ain't amazing, not spectacular, just the everyday working citizen, if they can do that once they become committed and once they stay focused and once they go on the go and willing to give a little bit, lose a little bit, gain a little bit, and then flip it and then lose some and gain some, and then boom, you hit goal because you stay focused, you stay on your grind, you don't stop, you don't let people talk you out of stuff, and then you get it. The same people that may be naysayers, as we talked about last week, you can turn them into liars by keep going on and keep pushing on. And then who to say that whatever your name is, Jville, who to say you can't start Jville next week or next year or next 2 weeks? Who to say you can't run your own community, your own block?
Come on.
Who to say you can't put up your own gate and say, hey, I'm letting you in, but I ain't letting you in?
Amen.
Fam.
That's real.
I'm begging us because we don't own our own communities in most cases. We don't own a lot of stuff. We rent a lot of stuff. But the money and the energy and the work that we put into this, we could be owners. I'm telling you, fam, once you break that ground, that entry level, it's hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's hard to break that entry level. But once you break that barrier, stuff gets a little bit easier. And somebody mentioned about homeschooling. I think it was AB. AB mentioned about homeschooling. This is what we're talking about by homesteading, by walking away, by willing to let it go. This is what we're talking about by fulfilling your dreams, by living abroad. We're talking about taking ownership of what's important to you. If you got kids, you got young kids in school, and you want to raise your kids, you want to school your kids, you can do that. But if you're trying to maintain and keep status quo and trying to look for whatever reason, for whoever audience it is, instead of within your means, instead of looking at and putting things that's important to you and living a lifestyle that's important to you, that means you're going to have to sacrifice some stuff. That means you're going to have to give up that 2024, 2025. That means you're going to have to give up that 2017. Some of us got 8-year on car loans, right? Some of us going to have to give up on 8-year car loans. Some of us going to have to sacrifice and do without. Gigi stayed home for 13 years. We lived off of one income for well over 13 years, right? It's other people that I noticed in this chat lived off of one income and raised their family, right? But guess what? They might not have the fattest ride, but sometimes I did. Sometimes I did have the fattest ride. But you got to make that change, and you got to start it somewhere, and you got to keep that in the front of your mind, and you can't give up. And people going to say, you struggling. You ain't got to struggle. That woman need to get up off her backside and go to work, or that man need to get off. Look, Jay said in Africa, you mind your own business. People need to mind their own business and know themselves and know they mate and do what's best for your mate and live a happy life, a fulfilling life, and have quality time over materialistic stuff.
Man, you better preach, bro. Look,
stuff gonna come and go.
I don't care. Y'all, both of y'all could be working 3 jobs apiece, and you still think stuff ain't gonna come and go, because the more money you make, the more money you want to spend, and the more you spend, eventually you ain't gonna have everything you got. Look here, I'm today Thursday. Our anniversary is coming up. This our anniversary weekend. 22 years together. I'm so thankful she kept me. She kept me for 22 years, man. You know, and
y'all send a shout out. Send a shout out to April, Pieces of April, and Country Dreaming. Y'all send a shout out, y'all. Y'all send a shout out.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. And this is the crazy
thing. We got so many parallels, right? I think you got a Aries in your family, right?
She's somewhere around here. I me one. I got one.
You know, I got an Aries too, right? And guess what?
Yeah.
Our anniversary gonna be in the next few weeks too. So, I mean, hey, we right there along each other, man. Right there, beginning of September.
Us too, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, bro, it's a blessing, but it ain't always easy. And you said something real powerful when you say, folk got to mind their own business. You got to do what's best for you, because the time and love and attention spent with like Lil Gigi and the other kids and stuff, man, that's something money can't buy, bro.
Can't buy.
That's something that money can't buy. Your time with your family. The reason that I'm conducting my life the way I'm conducting it now is it kind of go back to what you said. Like, when you got people, and there's nothing wrong with it, because I want to see everybody get it. But if you a first time homeowner and you in your 50s or something, and you doing a 30 or 40 year mortgage, you counting on pretty much. I wouldn't mess with no arms, but you know, that's a whole different thing. It depends on your circumstance. You might be balling like that, man. So you go ahead and get you. It depends, because they got some decent 15-year on. But that, look, I ain't going there with this conversation.
Know thyself.
Everybody's
know
circumstances is different.
Yeah.
There you go. My biggest point is, bro, we got to do what's best for us, and we live in a bizarro world where everything you do, probably the things that's most beneficial for yourself and your family, will make the world turn their nose up at you. Yeah, you could have a better this or a bigger car or a newer car or a fancy car. Man, I gave up on the Joneses back when J.E. Last album came out. Well, I'm talking their second album. I'm talking about back in the early 2000s. That's when I gave up on keeping up with the Joneses. I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to be fulfilled. I'm trying to spend as much between being gone for weeks at a time, deployments, then left my wife in another country. Them folk told me, "Hey, you finna go to NCO school the day before Thanksgiving." I done had to leave my wife, come home and tell her, "Yep, baby, I gotta bounce. Here I am packing bags and getting all my gear together. I got to go. I'm finna go be a sergeant. Sorry, I gotta leave you in this other country by yourself the day before Thanksgiving." This is the kind of stuff I done put this woman through, and she still kept me. And if you don't think that I value every second I get to spend with her and my family, you crazy as hell. It ain't no other way, y'all. We done been duped out of the most precious commodity we got, which is our time. Matter of fact, anybody in this chat, I will give you $37 if you tell me anything more precious than your time. Tell me something else that once it's gone, you can get it back. Like Eco said earlier, you lose that house, you lose that land, you lose that car. If you a millionaire, you can make $1 million again. But somebody in this chat, tell me how you get your damn time back, and I cash app you $37. I'm gonna stop right there, bro.
I mean, when you look at it, everything is centered around time, my brother. Everything in life is centered around time. When they pay you for your time. You know, we calculate stuff on time. We make appointments on time. You know, we do so many different things on time. And I'm listening at my brother right here, the off the grid trucker.
Yeah.
Same thing what we talked about last week. You know, we talk about people going abroad. We talk about the military. We talk about a lot of different stuff. Brother, he said it. He said he did 10 years, right, in the Fed. And now he on 15 acres. There ain't no excuse. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
One thing about cash and your time, when you put time and cash together, you become powerful. When you put cash and time together, you become powerful. Time, cash is a byproduct of time, not reverse. Time creates a lot of other stuff. It can manifest a lot of different things. when the way that you appropriate, the way that you elect your time and your effort, you will get a product out of it. So just think about this. Here you got somebody that has been going through something in their life, and they say, hey, I got to change something. I got to make a total different change. I'm going to reverse the whole process. The off-grid trucker just said, I was protecting a block that wasn't even mine. And now I own the block. Come on, man.
Come on.
He was protecting a block that wasn't even his, and now he owned the block.
Man, congratulations.
And I seen him out there working. I seen him, and guess what he had out there with him? He had his son out there. He was showing the value of not only just land ownership and what you can do. He was empowering his son and encouraging them when they were working together. Time is so precious if we could just use that time in a quality way. Now, here we are trying to maintain stuff, trying to have stuff, trying to live big, have this. We see these 4,000 square foot houses. We see these 5,000 square foot, there's 35, there's even 2,100 square foot house. Hello? And it's only two people in there, or one person, or maybe three. Right? Now, we doing all of this stuff, and we dedicate all of our time to keep maintaining them square box bushes, to keep that driveway clean, to keep that car clean, to keep some Armor All on that tire that's touching dirt. You know what I'm saying? We doing all of this stuff. We doing all this stuff. We got white bottom shoes walking in dirt. And we spending all of our time to go buy these things and to sacrifice these things because it's fashionable or because you can be accepted amongst others, or I like it. If you like it and that's your time, that's your time. But some of us, we really don't like it. We really don't care for it. But deep down inside, if we were honest with ourselves, some of us don't necessarily like it. It ain't the best comfortable shoe. It ain't even, I get tired of going to the car wash. I get tired of washing that car. You know, it's a lot of things we do. I get tired of having to do this and having to do that. But then the reason why we got the best schools, we got what we call the best school, that's really an oxymoron. Because the best school is the parents. The best school is the grandparents and your family and your cousins, your uncle. The best parents are the people that truly love them and is going to teach them something that's going to be able to apply. Then you got lessons. Anybody could teach a lesson once you learn the lesson. Yeah, you might have to invest some time because there's some time when we were homeschooling, we would have to go Google, we would have to go do tests. I would go to a technical school, pick up a trade to be able to teach my daughters some things that they need to do. Right? And like I said, we go through these things in life, we make mistakes. And I know Gigi said it. When we bought our first piece of property and we put our first mobile home or manufactured home, whatever you want to call it, trailer, call it whatever you want to. It was a house for us and we made it our own. There you go. Right? There you go. Now, when we did it, we found out after reading paperwork, when Gigi found out, we lost $10,000 on the deal. They stole $10,000. So guess what we did? That won't happen no more. So we went to real estate school to learn about real estate transactions. And we done that every stage of our lives. You know, we want to make something or we want to do something. We go and we get educated about it. That's what you do. That's what life be life, and that's what you do. You don't keep making the same mistakes and making an excuse, being in the same situation time after time after time after time again. Who gonna pull you out? Who gonna come save you? Who gonna save you? Who can even save you? Or even if you find somebody that care to save you, since we talking about our what you call it, Jay, last week, Black, African American, whatever the hell you want to call yourself. Whatever they call it, whatever they call you, or whatever you want to acknowledge yourself to. Now let's be honest with ourselves. Most people that do care about us, they ain't in the position to pull us out. Where are we gonna break that cycle? How are we gonna break that cycle? How we gonna break it?
By doing what you doing. By doing what you doing and what Gigi doing. Because at the end, if it was and by the way, I seen VP Vision say It's their 12 month. They finna have their anniversary too. So congratulations to you and the COO. But you know, man, by doing what you and Gigi doing, by taking your behind somewhere where you can not be ever duped again, you got to make a point. Cause we was looking at recently, me and April, we back in the state, we were looking at another vehicle purchase, and was at the dealership, talked to them. Okay, we want this one, we want this. Knowing what we know now versus when you had the 20-some-year-old April and the 20-some-year-old Jay, man, I told that man, thank you for your time, shook his hand, and got in the car and left. Never again. We not finna negotiate for no 3-4 hours. We not finna sit there while you go back and forth to the out. Do you agree to what my terms are? See, and when you become more educated, you understand your own power. You understand your own power. The system don't like seeing you. They don't like seeing people like you. They can't stand you because you can't fall. You not finna catch the okie doke. Not off of me. You not finna catch the okie doke. I will walk away from you, and guess what? If you got that $100 or $200 a year, the one thing you can't never take away from me is wherever I'm at. I live in a tent. I got a little. I got some internet. I got some light. I got a bucket. I'm happy as hell, baby. I'm real hard to break. I promise. I done been through worse than whatever you trying to throw at me. We are the change. Oh, this is something I wanted to say a while ago too, because you been on fire today, boy. You dropping gems left and right. But I'm gonna say this. When you was talking about them towns a while ago, and you brought this up in part one, in the last conversation. When you drive through some of these little rural towns or even your big city, when you drive through Scottsville, like Eco said, Scottsville or Jamestown, you know that's just a person last name. If they started it, why can't you start it? What's wrong? What was so special about them? What was so special about them that ain't special enough about you that you can't do the same thing they did? Man, if you sitting on 20-some acres, that is literally a small town. That's literally a small town. If you build it, they will come. It might not happen overnight, but this is something me and Eco done discussed before. We understand that we are men with wives who understand what we understand. We are planting seeds for the trees that we'll never enjoy the shade of. We'll never enjoy the shade of them trees, but that's not going to keep me from planting that seed and watching it grow and letting that trunk swell out. And I'm thinking about who going to be able to sit under, enjoy it, and enjoy the fruit that come off of it. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
And that's the thing that I really, really hope that everybody get out of this, is knowing that life is bigger than just you. You're not just here just for you. Like a hammer. Right. Think about a hammer. Think about a wrench. Think about even a car.
Yeah.
The car got multiple seats. The hammer got one handle, but guess what? It put in a bunch of nails, and it builds houses. It builds structures. It builds things, right? And if you think about it, fam, why do we feel so good when we do good and do right by others? Why do, when you see people come stupid, filthy rich, they start donating, they start feeling that need to do charitable actions? Now, some people say, oh, it's a tax write-off. Let me tell you, once you get everything you really want, it's something about having a community. It's something about having fellowship. I have fellowship with my brother right here next to me. I have fellowship with some of y'all in the chat. And I have love and compassion for each one. And one thing about that, if I have, they have. If I have a place to stay, they got a place to stay. If they're lacking, they need to get back together, or things are kind of like bumping, it ain't grinding quite right. If they willing to move to Florida, they got a place they can get themselves together to rebalance. You know what I'm saying? To reconnect, to re-energize. You know what I'm saying? It ain't now. I ain't saying everybody in the
My
chat,
God.
but it's a few in the chat. They know they got the green light at any time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
imagine if we had 5 or 10 people like that in our lives. Imagine everybody in the chat had 5 to 10 people decorated throughout the world where if they need to do a reset, a restart, don't worry about no house note. Don't worry about no rent for right now.
Right.
Just get yourself together. You know, it's not the best conditions right here, but whatever you build, whatever you do, you can stay in there. Whatever you maintain, you can stay in there. You don't have to be worried about the police or nobody pushing you away. You go ahead and clear you a little spot, get yourself together, get organized. Y'all need to get your family, get your kids back on the same platform. Y'all been working, they've been in daycare, they've been pulled here, they've been pulled up. And you need a little quality time to spend with your family. Take the time to do that. Now imagine you have 10 people in your proximity where you can do that.
Woo.
I'm telling you, life gets to be a little bit not so stressful.
Right.
Life will get to be a little bit not so worrisome. And you don't owe them nothing. Imagine this, you don't owe them nothing in the end. And they ain't gonna hold it over your head. They ain't gonna talk to nobody about it. Whatever happened is your business. And that's your spot. Your spot, you can just go over there and do whatever you want to. Now imagine if I lost everything and then I had somebody else. Guess what happened? We can survive. We can thrive in the midst of nothing. Absolutely. But if we don't own nothing, if we don't have nothing, I don't care whether if you're winning not in America, you might be winning in South America, Mexico, Africa, Canada, Europe.
Right.
You might win over there. But guess what? Then why don't you just help and share? That's all we just saying at the end of the day.
That's so deep because that's what I was finna take this to. Tanzania is technically considered and classified by Western standards as a third world country. But since we having this Africa and America versus America conversation, homelessness is almost something that's completely non-existent. I mean, it's non-existent. When I literally had to ask one of our close friends, I was like, say, bro, so because you do see a lot of I don't like using this word, but it is what it beggars during the day. You see a lot of people begging and they'll ask you for change or try to sell you something that ain't worth buying. But I asked my boy, I said, say, bro, where they all go at night, like the homeless people? He said, the what? I said, the homeless people, like hapana nyumbani, na Kiswahili. No house, no home, right? And he said, no, not many people at all. And because of the sense of community, even somebody will let you sleep outside the compound, man. And in the evening, now they may not give you nothing in the morning or during the day, but all the little fruit that don't get sold, that maybe got another day or two shelf life, all the people who don't get during the day, get fed during the day, the people who sell produce and fruit and this and that, they'll give it to somebody at what's called hapanom chana osiku, say night. So at night when the evening roll around, umchana, late evening, early evening, osiku, man, here you go. It might be 2 avocados. Nakiswahili parachichi. So it might be 2 avocados. It might be a piece of watermelon. It might be a little sliver of meat and some bread or something. But that is literally something that has always mesmerized me since I lived over there. Is the sense of community when so many people have so little. yet they'll still give. It's something profound about that. It ties into everything Eco just said. Could you imagine if you had 10 people who you know gonna be there on your best days and on your worst days with no judgment, no accusatory nature about them. They just there for you and you there for them, man. What kind of world would we be living in, bro?
What you talking about, man? But I mean, it's a couple of things now. Chat, I want to say something to the chat. Y'all don't have to share your lives, right? But you did. The Off the Grid Trucker, I think Esther Lawman, Family Man, a couple of people. Y'all done shared some of your testimonies. I read a comment, I think it was Esther Lawman said, I lost my house and I lost my car. And it took me, I think I'm paraphrasing, but he said it took him less to get another house and another car. Less effort than it did the first time.
There you go.
That's the same way with your goals and your dreams.
Yep.
In the beginning, you are laying a path. It is never easy cutting a brand new path, cutting a brand new trail. But you are a trailblazer, a path maker. And when you clear land, it has not been walked on. It has not been cleared. And then understand this, when you clear it, other people going to come in and walk. Now, you can't get caught up into, well, they didn't do what I had to do. Don't be small-minded like that. Understand that you're clearing a path for generations to come. Same thing about the city. We talked about it last time. You got enough capacity to start your own community, to start your own city, to start your own nation, right? But you got to start somewhere by taking that first step. Now, going back to the chat, thank you all for sharing your transparency, because most people don't want to share things that they view where they were unsuccessful or they didn't accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. But listen, fam, more of us need to be more transparent in showing our flaws or our shortcomings and how we overcame it. Because you're saving some people lives. You're also motivating some people that's going through what you done already been through right now at this time. Because not everybody in this chat got a job. Not everybody in this chat got their finances together. Not everybody in this chat are in the best of health.
Right.
But what you're doing by sharing where you been, where you come from, you're motivating, you're encouraging. That's what a community does. Sometimes we ain't got no money to give you. Sometimes we don't have a car to lend you. Sometimes we don't have a land to lend you. But sometimes we'll be like, I love you, brother. I'm going to think about you, and I'm going to send a word of encouragement. And when I get something, I'm going to send it your way. And don't worry about returning. I just want to send you. I want to help you when I do get in a good place. But right now, I'm listening. I'm here to listen to you. I'm here to encourage you because I know you can do it. I know you can make that stuff goes a long way. Sometimes that goes farther than $1 or $10 or $100.
Yes, it does. Yep.
And so when you're thinking about taking that plunge and doing a homestead, you're thinking about walking away from that rat race, it's gonna get hard. And some of the people that's around you may have never done it. But I still ask this question, Jay, and you got to answer this for me. What happened when going and buying your land and getting your own farm or getting your own homestead was in style? What happened to that fad? What happened to that in our community? In our community.
I don't know, man. I think maybe it's because it's harder than people thought it was gonna be. Maybe because hell, I really don't have an answer. Because I'm still me and you had a conversation one time after we got back down here, and I remember telling you, brother, we gotta slow this thing down. I'm reimagining all the plans I had because I see everything from water flow to the grade of the land? Do this need to be over here? I wanted this over here at first, but now this probably be better over there. But unless you got like full on corporation money and you just finna bring out levelers and dozers and dump trucks to haul everything away like a commercial construction site, it's harder than people think it is. I could never imagine how some of the stuff we done came across, bro. I don't even know how to explain it, Rob, because you deal with circumstances like, well, I didn't anticipate that happening. I don't know if that chased folk off or if that's what made them lose their appeal or what, but it's rough out here.
It is. And I think it was Isaiah 58:1. She said that, now I think she had some military experience. She says, it's not only rough, but it's going to get a little bit rougher. And
facts.
Fam, if you're in an okay position right now, this is your opportunity to put yourself further ahead in the future by just diversifying what you're doing, just by taking a little look at learning and building your skill set, by also looking at, if I didn't have my job, if I didn't have these modern day conveniences, how would I survive? What would I do? What would I do to be able to maintain my family, to maintain my health, to maintain a place to stay? What would I need to do? What would I have to do?
Right.
And if you haven't thought about that, or if you haven't even considered that, why not do that? Why not do that? And then ask yourself, what am I lacking to get myself in the right direction and to get there? Because I'm telling you, people talk about the devaluation of the cash, the dollars, the digital currency, and all of that. I look at the way the banks and stuff play with my money. That bank will say, that banker say he ain't got but $10 in his account. He ain't got but $5 in his account. And he gonna swipe that debit card. He gonna swipe that debit card. But now he got some pending checks. He got some pending transfer. I normally would drop that transfer on a Tuesday, but I'm gonna hold it to a Thursday because I know he on the edge. I know he's on the edge. And you think I'm lying, and you think they don't do that. And then if you do a pattern of it, they'll do it every week. 1 week they'll play with you and drop your check early on a Tuesday, or your deposit. Somebody send you a deposit, they'll drop the bad boy early on a Tuesday when it normally shouldn't be dropping to a Thursday or Friday. And then you're like, I got me a little bit of money. And then you start guesstimating that thing. And then before that next week roll around, you be like, I know I get paid on Thursday, but they normally drop it on Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and swipe this real quick. And I know it's going to get, but all of a sudden, why is it that all the swipes and all the withdrawals come before the deposits? Come on, bro. You can't tell me they're going to hold it. So are we ready for digital currency? Are we ready for fees and things that we don't know about? Are we really ready for taxations and different stuff like that? Some people got their own business. They got their own what they call it, limited liability corporation, right? They changing what they're doing. But now, have y'all read about the new filing for limited liability corporation? The IRS is cracking down. The IRS is saying we need to regain our money. The government been spending money after money, all these loans and all this funding and all this help. Guess what's going to happen? We need some of our money back. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro.
And so you're going to have little funny little things that going to start popping up. And when stuff start popping up, and if you're already tight, you're already right there tight, and you can't really afford for nothing to kind of go up and go down, you're going to start sacrificing one thing for another. You're going to start putting certain things over another. And then next thing you know, you're going to start seeing some stuff slowly disappear. And if you don't balance it quite right, you're going to have jacked up credit. You're going to have not no money saved. And then you're going to be like, I need a place because this thing got too high. And then you go trying to go look for a place to stay. And now that these large, wealthy people are buying up real estate, they buying up neighborhoods, they buying up everything. They're gonna say, we got this level before you can get in. We got this level before you can get in. And if you're not there, we don't need you. Because there's gonna be so many people that gonna be begging for a place to stay. And they know it. They banking on it. So if they planning, why we ain't planning, y'all?
Man.
Why
Eco, if that don't get through to people, for all the people who watch this replay, for all the people who in the bushes, for everybody in the chat, I really need y'all to hear what this man's saying right now. I remember when the legislation went through, when the proposal went through, and then it went into legislation. 4 years ago, the government didn't care if you had a transaction over $600 on your Cash App or on your Zelle or on your this or on your that. But it passed. I want to say it was official in 2022. Anything over any transaction, just so y'all know, FYI, so you will know it from this point forward. I don't care. You could be sending your kid money. It's school season back. You could be sending that to your baby over at the University of America or wherever the hell they go. Junior College USA down the road. You sending that money to your baby, and you and they looking at you side eyes and side wondering. You got this much bread, and you sending it to who now and why? And that's across all of these little apps. I hope y'all heard what this man just said. If they getting ready, why you ain't getting ready? I don't have all the answers, but I sure got the question. And the question is, what am I gonna do about it? I know what I'm gonna do. I hope you fall in line. I hope you follow suit and understand that the world real fishy right now. These folks them probably all together probably spent about $4 trillion that don't exist yet. But that's a whole nother conversation. I ain't finna go hard on my brother live. I ain't gonna go hard on my brother live. But you done spent trillions of dollars. These folks is finna be looking for their money. They finna be looking for their bread. They want to recoup it from somewhere. And guess what somewhere is? Somewhere is you. Somewhere is me. Somewhere is Eco. Them people finna get their bread back, baby. They finna turn over every rock. They finna look on every cinder block. These people finna flip. But
and for some reason, my brother, I don't know why we don't understand the government don't make money. Well, let me reverse that. They don't print money. They don't print money.
Go ahead.
They make money. Banks don't print money. They make money.
Right.
Don't. Right. Please understand this, fam. Please understand this. A bank would close if it didn't have money flowing through it. Because it don't print money. It don't print money. The government will close if people don't pay taxes and fines and all that stuff don't get paid. Now, you can have a free checking account, but what they depending on is for you to not withdraw and for you to overdraft and for you to take out a loan and for you to miss a payment and for you to be late and for you. So if that's how they get paid off you being late, overdraft, doing transactions. If they get paid off for stuff that goes wrong in your life, do you think they got your best interest? Do you think they really trying to help you with your money and protect your money? Or are they really allowing you not to prosper?
Come on.
They're going to give you enough to keep you there. They won't hit your pockets that bad because they don't want you to walk away. But it's almost like in the wild. You see these rhinoceros. And you see the birds that be on the rhinos and they be sucking the blood. You know, they can't just, the whole family just can't get on the rhinoceros and just suck all the blood. We just got to keep the blood flowing. So you brother bird, you get on that rhinoceros, I get on that rhinoceros, and we just gonna eat just enough to get full. But we can't overdo it. You know what I'm saying? But
that's exactly
it's real. Stuff getting tight, baby.
It's real, and you even I think here you damn near have to have a 5-year CD to get a decent interest rate. these days. I remember back in the day, average checking account, man, was some on 4, 5, 6%. I guess it depends on where you at and who you bank with, but the game has switched. It's a whole lot going on. And I will say this too. Eco touched on the banking system changing. I think we touched on this a little bit in part 1. Y'all, the way we see, know, and understand money is completely changing. So I say this, just now hear me out. Let's say I'm just old country boy. I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm just out on a limb, right? But I'm gonna use this in defense of my theory. If the monetary system is not getting ready to go through a tumultuous time or upheaval, what sense do it make for these corporations to be buying up assets at the rate and the way in which they are? Because after this all said and done, let's say the $10 in your pocket just dropped down to being worth $3 over the rest of this month. We ain't got but a couple days left in the rest of this month. So you wake up on the 31st or the 1st and your $10 is worth $3, right? Mm-hmm. It was a crash a couple weeks ago. You know what has yet to ever fail? It may take a while, but real estate, it's called real estate for a real reason. It has always at some point recouped its value and went back to being more valuable year over year. It's always went back to recouping some type of return annually, whatever it is, right? There is a reason. These folk, I ain't gonna get, man, me and Eco gonna get shut down. I ain't gonna get in them folk business too hard. I ain't gonna get in them folk business too hard, but I'm just gonna say as a very humble little country boy who don't know everything about the game, them folks protecting themselves by literally throwing hundreds of millions and in some cases billions of dollars into real estate, and they gonna be all right on the other side. So as my brother Eco said earlier, if you understand that, why ain't you doing it too? If you could buy 0.0.5 of an acre, big enough for you to lay down flat, 0.1. If you could get your hands on 0.1 of an acre for about $1,200, why wouldn't you do that, man?
And this is the thing, Jay. Notice the way that the wealthy is moving. Please pay attention, fam. They are buying things that not are byproduct of a man, not made with man hands. They buying organic.
Yes.
The creator made. Whatever the creator made, that's what they want. You watching them buying farmland. You watching them buying harvest land, fruits and vegetables, and they growing all. They buying real estate. Anything that has been made by the creator. Let's do this.
Come on.
Take a catalog of everything that you own, and this how this ties in. Because for me, if I had to leave the country and if I had to go abroad and I had to start my homestead, and if I had to go, just say to Africa, my goal would be to have the freedom and the rights. This is me. I'm just talking about me. The freedom and the rights and the time to own more and to flourish better than I am where I am. That would be my goal. My goal would be more time, more tangible goods, more flexibility and freedom to be where I am. Now let's do a self-check. Think about everything you own. Just mentally think about everything that you own. Everything. Do you own more of byproduct by man, like shoes, clothes? I know it's made with organic material, but it's byproduct. Now, think about how much stuff you own that's made by the Creator. Dirt, land, trees, fruit, vegetables, water,
Yep.
air, you know,
Yep.
precious metals, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Elements, minerals, all of that. So which one outweighs? The goal is for you to be blinded and for you to keep in that rat race and to own more byproduct materials and keep working for that than it is for you. It's less popular, less desired for you to do XYZ, to own organic or own things made by the Creator. And for some reason, we done unplugged. And you can't tell me that it's too hard, because I'm tired of people saying, man, that's too hard. But we will go and we will apply for unemployment. And I ain't never did unemployment, but I've seen and I've helped some people with unemployment. And we will apply for certain jobs. And I done applied for some jobs. One job took me 1.5 years just to get.
Yeah.
1.5 years. I went through testing, screenings. I went through all of that. It took me 1.5 years just to get that job. Now we'll do all of that rather than just taking some paperwork, filling it out with a realtor, and then just go ahead and signing the bottom line and signing over and buying a piece of property that might take you, the transaction might take you through the beginning to the end, might take you far as filling out paperwork, maybe an hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
And we say it's too hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's too hard.
Right. Right.
We gotta do better.
We gotta do better. And some people have a reluctance to I don't know. I think this is something that I used to not feel this way, but the older I get, the more I feel like this, bro. Some people are afraid of their own success because success comes with responsibility. Success comes with responsibility. When you achieve certain goals and you reach certain milestones and stuff, you got to keep that, not for the Joneses, not for show, but what I mean by that is you really, once you got some, either you gonna keep it or you not, or try to keep it, or you gonna try to grow into it, or you gonna try to do better with it. And something else, once you've achieved level 1, I mean, level 2 got to be down the road somewhere, ain't it? Like, you set yourself on a path of progression and growth. And I think that's why some people never want to step into it, because you got to be grown once you do that. You have to be grown. And I'm going to say something, that's the reason why a lot of folk won't get their GED. That's the perfect analogy. That's the perfect comparison that I can come up with. It's folks out here just because, and there's nothing wrong with this. I'm not disparaging anyone's form of employment or where they work or nothing like that. This ain't what this about. I'm trying to make a deeper point. But you got folks who won't get their GED because you got 4-5 companies that will hire them with that lack of education or that lack of achievement. And that's just where they'll ride it out for the rest of their life. And I'm not knocking nobody, because that's your own decision to make. But let's be real about it. We know good and damn well if you get your GED, somebody gonna start elbowing you at minimum. Why don't you go to this trade school? Why don't you try to go to the next level? Why don't you try to bump it up a little bit? So it's easier to never step into that phase or zone of life altogether. That's it right there for me, bro.
No. I like that. And you're absolutely right. That's what going and blazing that trail does. That's what when you take that first step. And I know I get it because sometimes I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about nobody else. Sometimes I get lazy. Sometimes
we all do.
I'll be like, I'm just tired of just keep going. Like I'm tired of the struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my body tired, my mind tired, and then I take a break. But then I say, okay, now get up, and you got to keep moving, because this is the worst thing that can happen in life. But it's been taught. You work 40, 45 years, and then you work towards to have about 5 to 15 years to sit and do nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the people that live not the 5 to 15 years, but the people that live 30 years and beyond, or 30 years or 40 or 50 years, they say they ain't never stop. They just keep going. They just keep going. In life, we gotta keep leveling up. We gotta keep leveling up. Now, what I mean by leveling up, it may not be monetary leveling up. It could be intellectually, spiritually, or a combination of the two. Or it could just be, it could be just doing different things and moving on to the next thing, doing something else and moving on to the next thing. Because somebody said one time, okay, Eco, you done cleared the land, you done got the well, got the septic tank, and you got everything, you got the home now. Now what's next? And I said, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Because you don't want to just be like, okay, I'm done. I'm sitting back on my lawns. You still got to maintain.
That part.
You still got this thing called inflation. You still got this thing called internet, light bill, water bill.
Right.
You still, even if you got your own solar panels, you still got to buy batteries. You still got to clean. You got to clean the solar panels. You need some paper towels. You need some cleaner. You know, when the rat chew through your line on your solar panels, you still need to get something to fix that line, some electrical tape. You still need a connector. You might need to buy a pair of pliers. You know what I'm saying? When your water generator and you get a drought that comes on, you're gonna have to diversify and come up with a different way. Or when you got water catchment system, and now for the last 3 or 4 months it hadn't rained, or your barrels done dry rotted after the last 5 to 6 years, you still got to maintain, fam. So this is the cycle of life. Why not use this time for the betterment and for the growth and the development of what you care about and what matters to you? That's fine. Absolutely. Nothing wrong. I'm not knocking the job, not knocking working for nobody, not knocking nothing. It's always a means to an end. But it should be a balanced system somewhere, or we should even work. You know, the older we get in life, we should try to work to spend a little bit more balance in our life. We shouldn't be like working for stuff, working for people, and then this is a little bit time for ourselves. Somewhere in time, as wisdom and knowledge comes in, somehow it got to be a little bit of this, but it should be a little bit of this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to us. You know, we got a little bit of time on the earth, y'all. Just a little bit of time. It's a thread.
It's, man, with the time, man. Here, I can walk outside right now, and most of the trees out there are older than me. I'm in my mid-40s, man. Most of the trees older, and they done seen more living time than I have. And when that's something beautiful about a tree. That's why I love them. Sometimes I feel bad when I'm cutting them down. I'm getting to the point where I feel the same way about trees I do about animals. Whenever I dispatch an animal, it's just a personal thing for me. Whether I mumble it to myself or whatever, I always say like a little prayer, like a thank you for this sacrifice. I'm starting to feel that way about these trees, because tell me one more, what else stand up and die? What else will stand up just as strong as it was when it was living at its peak? It'll stand up and die right there. Then seeing more life on this earth than you could ever even imagine. That's a tree. But that's just me now. That's just me.
Wow.
But with that being said, stay active. When I was a little boy, I remember my grandma had a cousin. We used to go out to her house and get greens every other Saturday, and fresh eggs and stuff like that. And she lived on the other side. Now, mind you, she passed away at about 98 or 99 years old, lived by herself. had one of them big 500-gallon propane tanks on the side of her house, was still maintaining right out around her own little yard, had a garden, had chickens, all this stuff, but you had to cross a little rickety wooden bridge that only one car could drive over at a time. The system got us set up in such a way where they determine our arrival points. You do this and this between this age, and then we'll give you these last little handful of years to just, like Eco would say, you can sit around and do nothing if you want to, or you can go look at your grandkids. You got to start writing and dictating your own path on how you want to do this, when you going to do it, and how you want it to be. Because I will say this, now, all day yesterday, it did rain yesterday. My whole left side was hurting all day. Everything I done never broke or twisted or sprained was hurting all day. I still kept moving. I still kept doing stuff. Staying active and calling the shots that you want in your life will lead to longevity in ways that people, I don't think they give enough credit to or for, or it's not regarded enough, man. These people done curated a life for you. You gonna let them get away with that? They in control of enough. The freest place I think anybody could be, and it's just my opinion, I may be a little biased, starts with a little piece of land to call your own, to know what it feels like. You know, you gotta watch out for them sticker bugs, but just walk out there barefoot sometime. Walk out there barefoot sometime, man. Go ahead, bro.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. You know, I never really experienced, like, I've owned land before. But this was different, Jay. I'm gonna tell you how this was different. Out of the properties that we've owned in my lifetime, this was the first property I ever bought cash. And the times that I said I owned it, and I get it, you don't pay your taxes, they're gonna take it. I hear this all the time. Right. But taxes, I keep telling people, the tax rent is different from a mortgage rent.
Mm-hmm.
Tax rent hits different from a mortgage rent. Like I said, you got 20 acres, and I think our year is gonna go up because we add more stuff to it. But our year was 185, 186 for 20 acres. For tax.
Come on, man.
And in Florida. All right.
Come on.
So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you don't own it, but my other properties, I was making payments. I owned it, but I was making payments. Left right at 2,400 square foot brick home, partially brick, 2-story, right down the street from Costco, right over there by Walmart Shop Center, movie theater, sidewalks, parks, walking trails, the hospital not nowhere. I mean, everything was to go and leave that, sell it, and go live in the woods with no water, no sewage, no lights, no nothing.
Right.
And then to be like, I'm free. When I got on this piece of property, I was like, I'm free. I felt free. I felt free.
Right.
When I was at that house, I was joyous when I first got the house.
Yeah.
And I was glad when I left that apartment, I was glad to get out of the apartment to get to the house. You know, every level I was glad, but I never felt that sense of freedom like I did when I bought a piece of land. I never felt that sense of freedom when I bought that piece of land, and I never felt like that in my life. And it hits different if you African American, whatever you want to call yourself, black, all of that.
Right.
Let me tell you, man, it hit different.
Right.
When you
do
you not know me as a black man still walk around my land looking for somebody to tell me to get off of it? That's a psychological thing. That's a psychological
Yes,
thing.
sir. Yes, sir.
Do you
Yes,
know
sir.
I still look for somebody to try to come and take it? Because some people say, you better be careful, all this information you giving people. These my people now. These my people. These the same people.
Right. Of course.
These the same people are saying I was a fool for doing what I was doing, right?
Uh-huh.
But let me tell you, these same people, you better be careful telling people all your business and doing this and doing all of that. But guess what? When I see an email or when I see a comment, when I see family man, when I see certain people chiming in and saying, bruh, I just did that, man. When I get an email saying, bruh, man, I just got my first piece of land. I just got my first piece of property. Man, I just got my first deed, on a piece of land.
Right.
It made me want to speak louder. It made me want to shout a little bit harder. It made me want to just keep driving the point. And then when I get an email, and I ain't just talking about no men, it's sisters out here. It's my sisters out here, and I ain't talking about no skin color either. It's all variety of rainbow of colors. They reach out and say, I'm a single mom working every day, and I went and bought a piece of land, and I'm working to clear the land. And I ain't talking about no one or two. It's multiple people that says that. And I asked them, how do you feel? How you feel? Yeah. And they feel stronger than ever. They feel empowered. They feel a sense of accomplishment. And if I could just share that with more and more people, if I could just share that little piece with more and more people, I don't care how you get it, whether you get it from Grandpa, Uncle Sue, I don't care how you get it, but get your hands on some land. Right. And start working that land, start building that land, start putting your infrastructure on that land, and tell me how you feel afterwards. Tell me how do you feel after that?
Man, it's an unreal feeling, and I'm so glad because it's good to. I had reached a point because some of the things that come with it, I had reached a point where I was on the fence on whether I wanted to show this or show that. I'll probably still never show everything, but
I get it.
I'm sliding back into the place of starting to share and show more for the same reasons that you just alluded to. And man, that's got to be a beautiful feeling knowing that you helping influence and change people's lives and getting them to see the world from a point that they never thought they could achieve. Because as you was talking, I was listening and my mind was going in so many different directions. I was like, between the sense of accomplishment and the peace and the pride that come along with owning your own little piece of land is a sense of, I'm going to say the S word, security. It's a sense of security because, look here, man, tell me what apartment complex or what townhome or what in whatever cul-de-sac, where is rent going down right now? Where is rent going down right now? Rent done almost got like insurance. Every time you get ready to renew, you going up another $200-$300. There virtually, for all intents and purposes, is no cap. So until whatever's gonna happen correct itself and work its way, it could be 2027, 2028. You boil a frog slow and you eat an elephant one bite at a time. People grow up getting used to it, so we halfway through the next generation, and they just done came to the conclusion that, well, that's all they know. So yeah, I'm in a one bedroom, and I'm in a studio. It's $3,500 a month, but I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying, Rob? These people have gotten so used to it. If you don't understand, in my opinion, and I think also Eco Neighbor opinion, having that sense of freedom and a place to be is one of the most powerful moves you can make right now in your life. Yes. You can listen to us now and believe us later on, baby. Yeah.
You know, the creator said in a good book a couple of times, said, go take your land. You know,
Mm.
I remember
Yes, sir.
there were certain brothers that divided land. You go this way, I go that way. The first thing that the Creator provided for us was land, the garden. I mean, wherever you want, whatever you believe, however you believe, no matter what, everything centers around land. Everything, wars, everything centers around land. People put people on the front line for land. Why is that? Why is that? Because it gives you a sense of urgency. It gives you a sense of dominance. It gives you a sense of feeling accomplished and successful, and it feels secure. You know, when it's almost like this: you're driving in the middle of the night and you're traveling and you're trying to get back to your home, and you're driving on this road and you're in unfamiliar areas and you don't know what's going on, and then what kind of feeling do you get when you get back home and you close that door? When you get back home, you walk inside that building, you close that door. What kind of feeling? That's how it is with having land to another magnitude, because you got a little bit more space. You know what I'm saying? You got just a little bit more space. I remember my mom. My mom told me she grew up in South Georgia, right? She grew up on the farm. She was raised by her grandparents. And I remember they her siblings was kind of split up. Grandparents took some of them, and her mama raised the other ones, the younger ones. Because I guess during the age of my grandmother had her, right? But I remember she said when she left that little town in South Georgia, she moved to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And she says when she moved to Miami, that was the first time she ever knew that she was poor. She says back home on that land, she said, we didn't know we was poor. We had food. We didn't worry about a place to stay.
Right.
We didn't worry about certain things like crime or nothing like that. And I said, Mama, I remember I was a young boy. I said, Mama, it sounded like you were rich.
Yes.
It sounded like you were rich. But what she was talking about stuff like shoes, clothes, cars, apartment. You know, she was talking about she traded land, and that was the whole intent. This side is so much better than you out here poor, growing your own food, growing your own vegetables, taking care of yourself and living off the land. You're doing so bad. You're just in such a bad situation where y'all sustaining for yourself, maintaining for yourselves, and doing this and living off the land, that you need to come over here and get some white shoes. Get some silk pajamas. Get some silk sheets. Get a brim on your head. To get a nice car with leather. With to eat at this nice restaurant. To do this and do that. So why you can't get silk in the country? Why you can't get a nice car in the country? Why you can't build your own restaurant in the country?
Come on,
you know
bro.
What I'm saying?
Come on.
Why you can't maintain what you got and build what you got and then stack it to another level? Ain't nothing wrong with the city. Don't get me wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But my problem with a lot of this organized communities is not your community. You just a vessel keeping the operations going. You just there keeping feeding that beast, keeping it going. But when you break a loose from that and you start building your own tribe and you start building your own communities and you start working together and y'all working for the betterment of the community and you working on the same mindset, the same goal.
Right.
Man, how in the world do you even, you go there just for vacation. You go there just to enjoy yourself, but then you come on right back and you close that door and you right back in your own house again. And ain't nothing like that, man. Ain't nothing like
it ain't nothing like it, brother. And that story you told about your mama was powerful. And it seemed like the powers that be are always pursuing us a little bit harder, because I noticed whenever you have gentlemen like ourselves of our hue talking about getting back to the basics and getting back to the land and living off the land, I can't help but notice that same emphasis ain't put on the and I'm gonna say this respectful as I can, but if you done never drove through there, if any of my people have never done drove through Virginia or West Virginia, you got folk up in the Appalachian Mountains, and respectfully, some of them folks they own cousin. I don't even know how that happened, but they own cousin. They've been living out there doing what they do for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 generations of living off the land. Some of them don't even go into town for nothing. Law enforcement don't mess with them people. They live so deep in the woods. They making their own wine and liquor. They got their own food. They, got their banjos, whatever they do. But when we, especially if it's a collective, because I want you to understand, bro, a collective starts with 2. Don't let it be 3, because wherever 3 or more are gathered, this conversation we having is more powerful.
Wherever 2 or more.
That's all it takes. I said don't let it be 3, 2 of them, but don't let it be 3, because then you getting real serious with it.
You
say, I'm telling you, bro, we always catch more scrutiny. It seems that we are analyzed a little deeper, discouraged a little bit more, but we are still just as capable as anybody else. And I want to touch on one more thing you said a while ago. For everybody in the chat, for everybody who in here now, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for Eco. Because when this live first started, he wasn't at where he's sitting right now. He wasn't stationary. He was actually doing this thing out on the road, getting back home. I used to work with a lot of the homeless population. And I want y'all to envision or imagine something. Ask yourself this. Aren't you always either on your way to or from somewhere? Think about that. I want just think about that real deep. When are you never not on your way to or from somewhere if you have a place to call home? Think about that. Now, when you got some land, the reason what we were saying earlier hit different is because you can really call this yours. If you renting, and this ain't nothing against my renting people, this ain't nothing against my people who paying a mortgage or renting a house or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is it's different. It hit different. And the homeless population is literally growing by the day, by the month. You can look up the statistics. The homeless population is exploding across demographics. Every ethnicity or racial ethnicity or nationality that live in this country is starting to substantially see a rise in the homeless population. I said a while ago, we live in a world where rent and mortgage in some cases, mortgage is a whole lot better than just being a renter, but your rent is going up by hundreds of thousands, anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 a year, depending on where you live. They slap an extra 3 on, an extra 2 on. That 14 go to 16. That changed things a little bit. It changed things a little bit. What you gonna do when you?
It reminds me of like being on a roller coaster that you can't get off. You keep hitting the stop button, but you just can't get off.
Yep.
I remember when I took my little girls to Disney World, and it was the first time me taking them to Disney World. And my 2 oldest ones, we went on this Stitch ride. And my wife couldn't go because the youngest one was such a small baby, so she couldn't go. And this ride, you go in this thing and this room, and I remember the lines was all long, and you waiting, and then you finally get in there, and then you go into this panoramic room. And we got into our seats. And the first thing that happened is the seats lock you down. There's a big old bar that come in, padded bar, and it locks you in. And my girls, they were so small, it couldn't hold them. And I had one girl on each side. I had one of them on each side. And I remember my oldest, well, I shouldn't say my oldest. I remember one of my girls. I ain't gonna call out like that. but I done probably already did it. But anyway, I remember the lights went dull, and I remember you could hear noises and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, it really wasn't the right ride for young kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not the kids that's not, I ain't talking about like baby kids. They probably wouldn't be no problem. But if you got some type of structure, if you got some kind of structure in your household or whatever, it wasn't the right ride for them smaller kids. And I remember it had this smell stuff. He was farting in there. He was blowing his breath, and it would blow that stuff through the seat. You could smell it. And it would rattle like he was running around like he was in a cage, and the lights came on and the lights went off. And my little young girl, she lost it. Oh my goodness, she lost it. She went in there hollering and screaming and yelling, and I felt so helpless. I felt so helpless. And I couldn't get out the seat. And I'm like, I'm yelling to the attendant because I'm like, somebody got to be working here. Let me get out my seat so I can get my child. She done got up and out the seat because she's so small. And the room moves and it tilts and stuff like that. I don't want her to get hurt. She panicking. And I felt helpless. I couldn't do nothing with it. And I'm saying this for a reason. Fam, some of these homeless people, they got kids.
Absolutely.
They on this ride of life and they can't get off and they can't stop. And they wish they could stop this, but they homeless. They risking losing their children. They can't provide them a stable place. And you got people out there going, finding these people or people reporting them. They loving their kids. They ain't eating sometimes, but they feeding the kids and the parents ain't eating. You know what I'm saying? They trying to wash them. They trying to maintain them. But we look at these homeless people like drug addicts and this and that. But we got elderly. We got veterans. We got people who have served their time, but they can't get no job. And then what you expect for them to do? And we got families now more than anything with kids. And they have to move them around from place to place. They can't, even when they find a good quality place, they can't keep them there because they might get reported and they might lose their kids. And people would rather for them to go through the system than for them to be homeless with their family. Which gonna protect, we're gonna look out for them, gonna make sure they're gonna be all right. But this is the stuff that we got this problem on our hands. And what I'm asking for more of us to do to empower not only us, but empower our families and the people that's close to us. So when my friend who might went through a divorce, might went through something, or might somebody in here, I don't want to mess up her name, Miss Barker. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Barker. I'm genuinely sorry, and the chat is sorry. Bless up to you, and you will make it through this. I know it's not easy, but day by day, life is a marathon, not a race. And please keep looking to the source and not to your own ability. But with that said, there's some people who've gone through some life situation. Even after this 2020, they done lost some people. My uncle, his in-laws lost right at 20 people in a matter of months. People's lives are changing. Now we got all these different diseases are entering in. People still traveling. People still bringing stuff from here to place and this. And people are getting sick. They losing their job or their jobs are quitting. Places shutting down. We got places in inner cities where it's starting to become unraveled, where businesses, Walmarts and CVS's and all that stuff are pulling out. They leaving. And now we got communities don't have a drugstore. They don't have the basic needs. And we still holding on. We still want to hold on instead of maybe looking at maybe Africa or maybe looking at, and we wait till we get so bad because we holding on, then we ain't got nothing, and we relinquish everything. We just should say, let me turn loose this Challenger. Let me turn loose this Honda Accord. Let me take this money to get some bus tickets and I know that they have a need. Let me do some research. I got a skill, I got a trade. Oh, they need some more nurses over here, or they need some more administrative people here. They need some. This is a place where a lot of tourism. They might need some people to clean some places. I can thrive over here if I take the chance.
Right.
But we go and we stay and we so committed to this day after day, and we lose focus and we keep our heads down trying to maintain. And guess what happened? We don't own our family member. We don't own no land. We don't own a second house. We trying to pay for the house that we got. We don't own no shed, no shack. We ain't got no water here, nobody, because we can't hardly afford our water bill ourselves. You know, fam, when we gonna be like, look, let's go back to some rural new territory. What America did, before it was America, what they did, stuff was tight over there. People were struggling. And they said, man, it gotta be a better way. It gotta be a better way. And I don't care if we have to start a new place. We need to go and then start our own homestead, start our own freedom, start this. We got to do the same thing, fam. When life, we keep life in us wherever we are, and we here, and I get it. We love New York, or we love Chicago, we love Miami, we love California, San Diego. We love all these places. I get it. But turn loose and go where you can flourish. Go where you can obtain some things and have some tangible natural resources. Because God forbid, if Eco, we don't need you no more. Your services are no longer needed, and I have to come. Dang, man, I'm back at this land. Dang, I'm back in my shed. Dang, I'm back. Even if I have to live in my car, I ain't got to worry about my car being towed out here in the country because it's tucked away back in the woods. I ain't got to worry about nobody paying for no parking spot because I just cut out a little spot in the back of my woods. If I need to clean out the car and put a pillar in my car, I got it there. I don't have to worry about nobody's worried about me sleeping overnight, telling me to move, go. You know, fam.
Yeah.
You got to have your sense of peace.
Yeah.
You got to protect your peace and protect a little bit of something. Even if you don't live on it now, even if you don't do nothing with it, you give it to your children or you give it to your family members, or even if you just say, fam, I got a place over there in North Florida, South Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. I know it might be hard out there, but see if you can find a little work, a little something like that out there. And live out there. Don't worry about no rent. Don't worry about none of that. But y'all live out there and try to do what you can do. Now imagine you had that.
Come on. You know what a blessing that is to somebody, man. And I'm gonna say, I don't know where her comment is. Or it's trying to look for her right now. She said something. It's Quan Brooks at the 124 mark. She say, you see it?
I'm getting there. I'm trying to get there.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Take your time, bro.
124.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still in 126. Hold on. 125. What's her name?
It looked like Quan Brooks.
I don't see it. You said 124 more?
Yeah, she say I'm renting.
Evidently, I'm not getting all the chats in this StreamYard. I don't even see a.
Oh, okay. You ain't getting that? Damn.
No.
And I'm not double streaming or nothing. Wow. Yeah, you got a lot of people in here, man. She just said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fam. If I hadn't spoken, I hadn't put your thing up. I haven't been getting some of these. I'm trying to share everything, but I apologize. It's not intentional, y'all. Yeah, I don't have anything. I got two people at the 124. I got Family Man and Vision on 124 mark.
Damn, but now I don't even see Vision no more. Okay, I'm seeing what she said was I am renting $1,700 a month. I'm renting $1,700 a month, moving to a fifth wheel.
224. I get it now. I got it.
Okay, there you go. My bad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Said I'm renting. You see that, man? This moved me because two very important things that make me want to say something about that. For one, that's a blessing, and may the Most High bless you and your mother, so you can continue to save towards your goals and your next phase in your journey. That's the first thing. The second thing is, until the day I take my last breath, I will forever continue to encourage people to never, ever be shamed. Ever be shamed about stepping back on that one good foot and getting your footing so you can take off. Have you ever seen how many they just had the Olympics track? Don't them folks don't track, don't they have one foot behind them and the other one right under them or in front of them?
Yeah.
When your RBs, some RBs take off the line, they teach you not to make false steps when you're running the ball. But every now and again, that big O lineman will kind of bump you back a little bit and you got to reset your footing. Baby, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. We got to quit being ashamed. And I want to be one of the people in this world who encourage everybody at any age. It's okay to do what you got to do to get where you want to be, especially when you do it in a positive way. If you got people who love you and willing to help you and support you so you can get to your land or your next journey in this thing we call life, man, if you fall for the okie doke, and I don't mean this in no disrespectful way towards my people or anybody at all, but I'm going to say it because we all know somebody like that. Some of us may have family like that. You can't pay your water bill, but you dead set on them doggone shoes, ain't you? You set on them shoes. Yo, you daycare eating you up and you want people to help watch your baby and all of this, which is not a problem. But you want that Birkin bag. But you would ask me for gas money 2 days later. Y'all, this the reality of what we dealing with and living with. Everybody ain't gonna get there with us. Everybody never gonna see it until it's upon us. Some people don't believe a storm coming, even though they done heard the thunder, seen the clouds rolling in, but they don't believe it's gonna rain until the water hit them in the forehead. Can't change that. But what we can do is uplift and encourage everybody who we know, whether it be on social media or in real life, to say, look here, you gonna get there. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations, sister. They ain't gotta share your hue. They ain't gotta look like you. It's a powerful thing when it's us do it, but y'all, with the way this world going, in addition to building a community, this is something else that's a scary truth I see rolling around. You might want to get with like-minded people. You might want to surround yourself with people who have your best intentions in heart, and gonna be there for you and maybe help you out and you help them out, because I would rather be in a multifaceted mixed community than around a whole bunch of people look like me that could care less about what my goals or dreams or ambitions is. And I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna piss some people off. I would love to just envision a black Mecca. What they like what was that movie, man? Back in they came out with 2020, the Wakanda or something like that. Well, look here, if I can be surrounded by people with some good doggone sense, who growing food, tending cattle, living peacefully as they can be, with the rest of the time I got left on this planet, that's what I need. That's what I want, baby.
Yeah, whenever you're going in that direction where you're talking about unity, you're talking about empowerment. That's what a little monster start showing the head. So you saw the monster. I put them to sleep. It's all good.
I see that.
But
yeah.
but you know that is so true. You know, as we wind down this live, my brother, I really want us to think not just, and when we say brother and we say sister, I'm serious about that as common mindset, common unity, and common goal versus the connection with maybe skin tone or skin color. You know,
right.
America. I shouldn't say America because it don't matter where you go. I can't change the color of skin I'm in. The world, in my experience, of course, I was born in Japan and I traveled as a child. But as far as America, what I know, I didn't choose that there's separation in views and mindsets. And then we put in boxes and we put in groups and organizations based on our skin color. I didn't choose that. That system was here well before I was here. And so with that system, I have to thrive and live within that system because I'm a part of that system. And one thing about that is I make the choice on what I do and how I do it. But when we speak far greater than skin. We speak far greater than male, female, or what have you. We do speak in fellowship with a common goal, a common thing called peaceable life, flourishing, and navigating in unison with helping one another. Jay got goals I don't have.
Right.
But Jay needs me and any resources I got that can help him with his goal. He know it ain't nothing but a text or phone call away. We need more people, not only that we can do that, but we can touch and feel close by us too. And this thing we call life and the new social media and the new thing, like they call the Matrix, where we just sit in a cocoon and we imagine life. We don't know our neighbors. We don't know the people that provide resources to us. We don't know our mail carrier. We don't know our local police officers. We don't know doctors, really. You know, most of the time we got a nurse practitioner and this and that. You know, it's a lot of stuff that we depend on a daily basis that we don't know. But I think in the future, in the near future, we're going to have to get to know each other. We ain't going to have a choice. It's almost like, I know you can relate to this. In Florida, we have hurricanes, we have storms. And we end up knowing each other through pain, through lack of resources. And that's a bad time to get to know somebody, you know what I'm saying? But through that storm, if they hang around long enough, we have a sense and a bond and a unity. And then so we'll see each other in passing, and now we know we neighbors. It's times you'll pass by in these communities now where you could pass by in a store and wouldn't even know your neighbor. You could pass right by and wouldn't even know. If they ain't in their car, a certain color car, a certain this and that, you wouldn't even know. Fam, I'm telling you, we're going to have to really get better at communication. We're going to have to get better at fellowshipping. We're going to have to get better with supporting and helping one another. Because it's great that we got a virtual community, but if we get disconnected, who can you touch? Who you can interact with? You know what I'm saying? So that's great that we do all of this. We fellowshipping, we vibing, but we need to have people that's in our proximity, some people to help us, the people to support us, so that we don't feel like we by ourselves, so that we don't feel like we're alone. But the first step in doing that, if you think about when I can remember when I first started school, I tried to go to, and this I'm telling on myself, and this is vulnerability here, Jay. Preschool, I had moved up here to Georgia, and I went to preschool, and I would cut the fit. I would cry and scream and moan. I wanted to go right back to my aunt. I didn't want to go to school. I was screaming. They have to come get me. I'd be cutting the food. When I tell you I cut the food, I cut the food. Sometimes I get whooped. I didn't care. I still cut the food. I fell out everything. I was nothing to me. Then it came time when reckoning time came. When kindergarten came, and it wasn't no coming back and getting me. And my mama sent me
Yeah.
to school, and every year for probably about the kindergarten to second grade, I would cook the food the first few days. I would fall out. I'd be all crying and sweaty and all that. But eventually, I had to go meet and interact with some friends and fellowship. And the first thing you do is show your vulnerability by introducing yourself or by sharing or by getting in the way or by smiling or by saying hello. So you open up a little bit of your vulnerability. And the sad part about what we're doing on this virtual journey, because some of our youth have never really did nothing. I remember I had a team, and when I got this last position I had, the team, I acquired it when I got hired. They was already established. But some of the team, the majority of my team was like 24, 25 and under. They were young, the whole team. Some of the team have never worked physically at a job. They came in during the 2020, and then we had to go back to work in 2022 or something like that.
Right.
And they had anxiety. Some of them had anxiety. Some of them quit. Some of them never, because they couldn't go to a meeting. They couldn't interact. They couldn't have any type of interaction. So that's going to be the same thing if we get deprived of natural resources or we get any kind of unrest. Some of us ain't going to be able to handle it. Some of us can't even start a conversation with somebody that we don't know, with a stranger. Some of us don't trust no strangers at all. So, fam, we got to start getting out of this shell, opening up, and become just a little vulnerable. Not all the way, but first observe, be patient, look at them, see them. If they seem like they somewhat, then start establishing these relationships. Because I'm telling you, fam, we're going to need each other. We're going to need each other's support. We're going to need each other help. And we all got different gifts. We all got different things. And we can help if we just come together and unite.
I agree 100%, man. And I'm if like everything Eco just said, if they worth it, now you got to fill them out. But if they worth it, I love to have the best relationship with all my neighbors as best we can. I got my dog. She's at that stage in life that all young girl dogs go through. I can't keep her around here for nothing. My neighbor from half a mile down the road done brought her home twice because she down there sniffing at his little boy dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I was tripping out because I saw your video, Eco. I've been, you talking about what you with the dog and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, man.
Yeah, that probably was the reason what caused Musa his life too. Running out for little piece.
Little P. Yeah. That's what happened.
I just hope it was worth it.
Yeah. That boy, that animal instinct kick in and things. And, but anything for us folk out here in the country dog, you got to worry about them. When they get to the main roads, man, these cars moving 70.
Man, how you go 70 miles on a dirt road, man?
I'm telling you. You.
Man, I didn't remember when I grew up, people didn't ride down dirt roads like that, man. Well, I guess they did. We did have dukes and houses and all that. Let me retract. I guess they did. I forgot. I just forgot, man.
You showing your age, you making me show mine. But whether they the same ethnicity or nationality as you, if they good people, and the only thing I would disagree with my brother, he said we gonna need each other. I said it too. I'm gonna change that. We need each other now. We need each other now. You need good people in your life now. You need people who have like-mindedness, people who live about not just preparing for this, doomsday circumstance or situation. Like Eco said, Florida get a lot of a hurricane. Man, them tornadoes come through here just wreaking havoc all the time. You never know when going. Man, the sun could be shining, storm roll in. Next thing you know, you got a hurricane on your. I'm not a hurricane, a tornado on your hand. Know your neighbors, the ones that's worth it. And I'm as a Texas native. I'm born and raised here. The folks who don't like me, they just don't fool with me and talk to me at all. They just don't fool with you if they don't like you. And all y'all know what I mean. And they do exist. It's a very, very real thing.
Hold up, Jay. Hold up, Jay. Jay.
What's up?
If or when it hit the fan, or if or when a storm come, even if folks don't like it, they're gonna be coming asking you for something.
I bet they will. I bet they will. See if your gas can full. See if you come on.
You got a flood. If you got a flood, and if it flood and you got a boat to come take your stuff out your house, and they can't get their stuff out their house. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff, fam.
Yes, sir.
You will get humble. You will get humble. It's like sickness. You get humble.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yep. No, that's real what you said, bro. A jack or something, a 1 ton. So you can, some trees, when you done went through a bad storm, sometimes the only way to really cut a tree without hurting yourself is to jack it up a little bit, take the weight off of one side or whatever. And can I borrow? It's just like that neighbor that they don't never say nothing to you. They don't speak. They don't wave at you, but they want to borrow 2 eggs. It happened. Or a cup of sugar or something. You know, my point is, we gonna need each other, and we need each other right now. And Eco, you you actually right, bro, because they will slide through on you real smooth, like, and be like, "Hey neighbor, hey neighbor."
They act like they ain't never, like, I done throw my hand up, and say, "Hey, what's up? What's up?" Like I said, I know we're not talking about certain, but I'm talking about even some of your same fellowshipping people that you can feel like you should be able to connect with. Hey, what's up?
Right.
What's up?
Right.
And then now you walking up. Hey, neighbor, how you doing? Y'all making all right? Y'all all right? Yeah, we good. Yeah, we good.
It's real. When it get real, folk get real humble, don't they? They get real humble, bro.
They do.
I'm just trying to figure this thing out. I'm saying that y'all, you will never know the joys of it. I get it. And Eco alluded to this earlier. Everybody ain't for country living. And I get that. I completely get that. But I think it's deeper than that at this point, because we're not just talking about prosperity and survival and longevity. We talking about something that you can call your own. And this YouTube, don't be taking this out on Eco or me. I'm saying something. I ain't encouraging people to do this. Man, if you when you was talking a while ago, when you was talking about the homeless situation, a news story I saw popped in my mind. It was a young woman. She was, I want to say she was 22, 23 years old, homeless. She worked at a restaurant, the one with the double arches. Police, law enforcement was called on her because there was a baby in the car. Now, she had the register right here, window right there. I'm not saying that's the best thing to do, but her baby was in the car with the windows down, and she working and looking at. She didn't have no home to go to. She didn't have no babysitter. And when you was talking about the authorities being called, I didn't want to interrupt you because you was dropping knowledge. So I'm glad that jumped back in my head, because, like, y'all, that's more and more people's circumstance and situation every day. If she had a bunch of family support, maybe her baby could have been being watched by mama or grandma or a cousin or somebody. Man, something else I'm encouraging us to do. Imagine yourself in somebody else's shoes, because it's easy for us to look at it from what we would do standpoint. When you got a support system, you got help, you got love. I need y'all to always remember, some people come up in foster care. Some people come up in the system. Some people come from homes so severely broken that they don't really trust or know or have a relationship with their family. Before you judge anybody too hard, remember how blessed you are, and then proceed from there. Count your blessings first, and then proceed from there with the judgment and the this and the that. Now, me and Eco to sit up here and had a whole conversation, and it was a few critiques along the way, but neither one of us ain't did nothing but encourage people.
Yeah.
It's some power in that. It's power in that, bro.
Yeah. AJ, man, I thank you so much for your time once again. I really appreciate you coming in. And
Absolutely.
As you all can tell, it's more than just when you homesteading or when you just getting off that cycle. It's a lot that goes into that. It's a lot that goes into just empowering yourself. And we watch the beautiful things, you know, like waking up in the morning, sipping a little tea, looking at the sunsets and all of that. But there's work behind being able to do that. There's preparation behind being able to do that. To be able to go and walk your own land and cut your paths and do it, is work behind that. There's reward, but it's work behind that. But one thing about this, fam, make sure that you try to prepare yourself for just being able to just not have the modern day conveniences. Be able to prepare yourself for if you were out here living, do you have a community? You know, do you have a sense of community? Because as we talked about it today on both these two lives is about time. You know, we wake up in the morning, we may see the sunrise or we might see rain, whatever, but we get up, and the majority of the days, what do you get up to go do? When you get up, the majority of your days, what do you get up to go do? Now, once you answer that question, ask yourself, are you happy? Are you content? Is it fulfilling? Is it temporary? Is it long-term? Do I want to continue to do this? And then if it's something that you might need to adjust, start planning now, start preparing now to just make some little tweaks, to make some little adjustments. Because when times get hard, which they are getting hard, they're going to get a little bit harder. They're going to get a little bit tighter. Protect your peace, protect your mindset, and you want to mitigate your stress. You want to keep a low stress lifestyle as possible, because when times get hard, it's going to heighten your stress anyway. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and do some things and invest in things that are made not by man, not byproducts, but invest in some things that'll be here when you're long gone and for generations to come. You know, think about that. You know, a diamond can be passed down from generation to generation. A gold band can be passed down from generation to generation. A tree can give life for generations and generations and generations. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Dirt can be here for generation to generation, right? So think about diversifying your time and your energy into investing a little bit more in some of those natural resources. And Jay, man, you know, it's always a blessing to have you here. You always welcome. And my brother, you know, I really appreciate you, man. I thank you so much for sharing. And I thank you so much for opening up some. You know what I'm saying? Because I do remember the short time that I've known you, I known the first Jay is different between this Jay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I see you. I see you sharing a little bit. I see you opening up a little bit. And something tells me that, yeah, somebody might poke around like that one I had to get rid of. Someone might jug at you or whatever. But understand, the more you open, the more you build a tribe, and the more people can truly be there supportive and can help you and encourage you along the way. And so that's what we're here for at the end of the day, my brother. We're here to encourage one another, to build one another up, and to help each other to keep pushing on further and achieving some of your goals and some of your dreams.
Absolutely, man. Well, again, I want to thank you for having me. This been, man, a profound 2-part series. I thank you. I thank Gigi. Uh, It's been a great conversation. Thank anybody I missed, all the people who've been speaking in the panel. Thank you for the well wishes and the love and the support, not just for me, but also to Eco and vice versa. And we just really thank y'all, man. I'm grateful to everybody. Anytime me and you get to chop it up and have these kind of conversations, it's always a beautiful thing, my brother. And I concluded like this because, just before I jump down the Africa versus U.S. thing, I want anybody, because this is probably the most important thing to me. Oh, thank you, VP. Uh, Before you give it up, really, 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 that ain't. I see that. I see Hudson. I see asking. That's all on Eco. That's all on Eco. We shit. All you got to do.
How you even gonna do that, man? How you gonna?
I had to. Just let me know. But
I opened up the door from the beginning when I said, the door is always open.
Hey, that it. Well, you set it up, man. We'll make it happen.
And then we owe VP another one too. We got to get VP in the conversation too when he get a little time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Look, y'all build it. I will come. I will be here. Just let me know, and I know when to be and how to be there. But y'all think real hard about surrendering your home field advantage, because it's a whole lot more power that comes with the ability to protect yourself, be on your own land, stand your ground literally and figuratively on your own land. You don't let a trip to the airport at the 11th hour be your only what you want to call it, backup plan, or that's how you finna navigate to your safe haven. I personally would think you crazy as hell if that's how you finna circumvent whatever's going on in the U.S. to make you want to do that. But that's just me. I'm sorry, bro. Let me go and get down before I get.
Hey, no. I just be thinking about. I just be thinking about. I don't know. I don't know. I guess what I be looking at my brother is people be talking about how hard and how difficult stuff be, and I go back and I look at other places and other things. It's almost like this. I don't have to serve time to know that time is hard. You know
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't have to get a vasectomy to know that a vasectomy might not feel the best. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
One of them things,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I trust certain evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just trust certain things.
For real.
I'm sorry, bro. Please, come on, take us home. Take us home, bro.
No, you good, man. I know you gotta wind down the show. I'm gonna go ahead and step down. Again, thank you for having me, bro. Thank you everybody in the chat. Y'all make sure, don't leave this live without making sure you hit that thumbs up, give it a share, and much love to Eco and Gigi. And y'all, I'm finna go. I'm gonna go. It's Thursday, so this kind of like my kickoff day, because the anniversary is over this weekend. So I'm probably gonna be in here trying to fill on me or something any minute now. So before she Eco, hey, he got me on the big screen, y'all. I am 22 years with the love of my life this year. Matter of fact, since he done put me on the big screen, I'm gonna use this opportunity to talk my talk. April, baby, Sweet Pea, wherever you is, okay, there you go, you over there in the chat. Girl, I love you. Say, look here, I'm gonna wine and dine you this weekend. I don't want you to be too taken aback if you find some Sonic in your life or something. And we might even church it up a little bit more than that, because I know you like this little Korean restaurant we done been to a couple times. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We might have to.
I'm up here cooking, you in here talking noise. I've been watching the whole time.
Baby, I love you. Why you got to kill my vibe?
I ain't killing your vibe.
I'm over here trying to
You
talk
got
sweet to you.
trying to feel on you.
I said you probably will when I get off of here.
That ain't they business. Hey, everybody.
I mean, if I anniversary, I can't be proud. You still
Hey,
want
Eco. Great live, y'all.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You a vibe killer. I'm finna get back. Say anyway, April. Say, look here. April in the camera, not the one who come in here talking about she cooking. Say, look here, I'm gonna make this weekend special for you. We probably gonna head over to Louisiana for a little while, and you know what I'm saying, maybe go to the boat, and yeah, we're gonna have a good time, girl. But anyway, okay, Eco, you can get me off the big screen now before I
Hey, Jay, let me ask you a question.
What's
Jay,
up, bro?
Have you ever went and booked a hotel and you ain't really been there? It ain't no chain hotel. And then you went in that joker and you kind of looked at the sheets and you felt the sheets and you like, I don't know, I need to really stay here tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's how you leaving me right now on my own channel, man. You got me feeling like, I don't know if I really want to spend the night here right now.
Go back down to the desk and get your money back. get out of there.
I'm gonna say this one more time, because Family Man started this, and I was gonna stop, but Family Man, hey, have you ever seen a time where like my uncle said, "Hey, you and Gigi, y'all can have well now, my uncle said you can hey hold my place while I'm out of town."
Yeah.
And then me and Gigi kind of so happened to go and watch a little movie or something like that. And then my uncle come back and he like, what's going on here?
Hey, it happens. It happens, Eco. It happens, bro. It happens.
Oh man, but hey, bro, you know I appreciate you and thank you.
I appreciate you too, family.
The chat been screaming about part 3, but I say if we got part 3 coming up, why not have 3? If we got part 3, why not have 3? That means VP. We need to get together, VP.
Sound good to me. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll reach out. I definitely reach out, and then you know we can do it. We can do it on any platform. Y'all just let me know, okay?
Hey, sound good, man. I'm gonna drop down. I'm still gonna be listening while you close this thing out, but I appreciate
it's gonna be nice and short, man. I gotta go do some family duties real quick, man. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate you. Chat was all the way live. Y'all were so into it. I really appreciate y'all interaction. I appreciate y'all sharing a little bit about yourself. And y'all help make this live real. Jay, Pieces of April, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sacrificing your time. And without a doubt, fam, I hope y'all got a little something from this. I got a lot. Every time I interact with my brother, I always get a lot. So thank you so much once again, Jay. Thank you so much, chat, for y'all coming in, chatting it up. I really appreciate you. For those of you that have been in the bushes, I appreciate you too. Your listening ears matter too just as well. And thank you for the feedback. Much love to you. Now, make sure before we get out of here, make sure that you don't forget whatever you do, make sure that you keep on growing. Grow. Till the next time, much love, y'all. Y'all stay safe and stay well and stay blessed. Don't forget to keep on growing.